Hello, dear listener. Now, you are a very, very naughty person because you've been downloading hooky versions of my talk radio show, weeknights 10 till 1, talkradio.co.uk. Now, listen, I don't mind. But if you do download these hooky versions, thank you, Matthew Stevenson, for sharing them, can you also do me a favour and download the official versions as well? Because the more official downloads we get, the more chance there is of me keeping my job, and which means if I don't keep my job, you won't get the hooky versions or any versions. There won't be a show. So if you go to iTunes or your usual podcast provider, type in Iain Lee, Talk Radio, whatever, it'll pop up. Subscribe to. You can delete them as soon as they're on your computer if you want, but it would be really helpful. So peace, love, sayonara.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Talk Radio.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Ash. Iain Lee, Talk Radio. Literally, don't know what's going to happen. Now would be a really cool time for you to call in, guys. 0844 499 1000. We call you back. Here's the news.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Good song then. My mate Scott, right, bangs on about that them, the Flying Burrito Brothers. It's a stupid name for a band. Often the bands with the stupidest names have the best tunes. Although, actually, I can disprove that. Who did? Oh no, that's a good song. Who did? There's a brilliant '60s song that never gets mentioned anymore, in the same way we don't mention Savile. Now, I'm not saying the song is a paedophile, but it never gets mentioned, and it should, because it's brilliant. And I can't think who did it. Do you know this song, Inagada da Vida? Do you know that? It's Inagada da Vida, baby. Don't you know that I love you? It's good. Oh, wait, there we go. First, that's our phone in for this evening. 3 hours. Who did Inagada da Vida? And which is, and that's supposed to be in the Garden of Eden, isn't it? Man alive, you know, we talk about, we have meetings with management and they tell us to make the show more inclusive, and I'm banging on for the first hour of the show it's going to be about a 60s song that even I don't remember. And I remember all 60s songs. Who sang that? It wasn't Moby Grape. That's a stupid name. It wasn't the Chocolate Watch Band. Was it Vanilla Fudge? Could have been Vanilla Fudge. It's a good song. I'll play you some of it later on. I think it goes on for 12 minutes. I think it may. I'm going to say, OK, my final answer, if I was on a TV quiz, if I was on, what's that weird quiz show with Connie Huck and Patrick Keelty and Nigel the Chancer Havers? I'm not being rude about him. That was the name of the character he played. Have you seen this quiz? So it's hosted by Patrick Keelty, right? And you have punters on there who they get asked questions, but then if they're not sure of the answer, they turn to a panel of celebrities, and it's Connie Huck. The one I saw, it was Connie Huck, Nigel Havers, and controversial Christopher Biggins, who doesn't believe in bisexuality. I do. Surely it's the best of both worlds. Patrick Keelty says, well, if you're not sure who sang in Indagata Davida, do you want to ask the celebrities? And then, so the contestant goes, yeah, I will ask the celebrities. And then you get Nigel Havers and Connie Huck and Christopher no bisexuality for me Biggins talking about who sang in Indagata Davida. Good evening, dear listener. My name is Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio. It's a phone-in show unlike any other phone-in show. And as much as you can call in about... I've eaten some chocolate. That's why I'm eating some Jaffa cakes. That's why I'm swallowing a little bit. But you can call in about pretty much... I'm going to drop the pretty much. You can call in about anything that you want to call in about. There's no parameters, really. What are the rules? The rules are you can't swear, and even that we waver sometimes, and you can't be libelous. That's it. Those are the only rules. But you can talk about anything you want. If you've tuned in to this expecting me to force feed you topics, I've just given you 2 golden topics already, actually. Bands with stupid names that did good songs, and who sang in Indagata Davida. No one believes it's a real song. Honestly, it's a real song, and I remember it being brilliant, but I've not heard it for 25 years. We'll find out what it's like a bit later on. So those are the 2 topics, but apart from that, you can literally call in about anything you want at all. 0844 499 1000. Right, that's the phone number. 0844 499 1000. You'll speak to Kath or you'll speak to Ed. They will take your details and they'll call you back. Now, some of the things you might want to talk about. Well, regular listeners will know I'm not a sporty person. Right? I don't get sports, really. I don't understand why it's... I don't understand sports in the slightest. And I've been really trying to follow this Sam Allardyce story today, because I thought this is a big thing, right? It's a big story. And I'm really trying... And he looks like Meatloaf, I think. He looks like Meatloaf once Meatloaf cut his hair and lost all his rock powers. So, I've been listening to the story, and I listened to it on Talk, I listened to it on LBC, and I listened to it on Radio 4. And I can't really work out what it is. I'm not saying this is what the show is about. You may want to call in. I can't really work out what he's done wrong. Really? He was going to take 400 grand to go and give some talks. Fair play to the geezer. He said, he called Roy Hodgson Woy, because Woy can't say his R's properly, so he said Woy. Fair enough. It's not as if he did a black man voice, is it? Didn't do a chalky. Now that might be. But even then, I'm going to say it. I've done a chalky. You've done a chalky. We've all done a chalky. Haven't we? We've all done a chalky. I'm not proud of it. But what I'm saying is a chalky in terms of offensive voices, is like a 7 out of 10. Just saying "woi," that's like a 2 out of 10 maximum offensiveness. Maximum 2 out of 10. Thank you, Ed.
No worries.
You ever done a "woi"?
A woi?
There we go. You see, he's just done it, and he's the nicest person on the planet. You see? I'll get him to do a chalky later on, don't worry. 0844 499 1000. And I don't want the whole show about this, because this has been everywhere, and But as news stories go, I find I don't understand what he's done wrong. I was listening to the two mics last night. They're on after this show. And Mike Graham was furious about it. And Mike Parry also said that he should have gone, but he, I didn't get it. I'm sat there in the car listening going, but why are they so angry? What has he really done wrong? He does look like Meatloaf, doesn't he, when Meatloaf cut his hair? Why did Meatloaf cut his hair? That was the only thing that distinguished him from a guy at a bus stop, was his hair, was his long locks. Now he's just like, now he looks like my Uncle Shamus. So, what was the point of that? 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number, and that's kind of how the show goes. Who called in first? Let's go to Brian. Good evening. Oh, blimey. Struth. Good evening, Brian.
Hello, Iain. How are you?
I'm fine, Brian. Are you falling down a mine shaft?
I am currently driving down the motorway, but hands-free, which is why I might sound a little...
Well, it means we literally can't hear what you're saying, but let's persevere for another 20 seconds.
Okay, I was just phoning up. I actually know you I used to work with you. I spoke to you the other day on Twitter about your nose, and I gave you a suggestion about snoring.
Is this Brian Hayes?
Yes, it is, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you, man. In that case, I won't be as mean with you then. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Now, yeah, this is Brian I used to work with on Rise, and I worked on other things, and he's a top cameraman and top director. And I posted a picture of me with my adamant strip across my nose the other day, because at night I can't breathe. I get my nose, I'm not bunged up with a cold, but it just gets all flappy in there. And then you recommended something else to unblock my nose, but I didn't get a chance to look at it. What was it?
It was some very weird plastic thing that you actually stick up your nose, and it gives you a very dodgy, not like that, it gives you a very dodgy looking nose, but it does make your wife not complain that you snore anymore, apparently.
Now.
Hang on, Catherine, what's you
my gran used one of them.
Yes, did it kill her?
No, but she had a nose like red rum in the morning. It didn't stop her snoring. It didn't do anything for her. So it just made her have really wide nostrils.
Is it a nasal cavity increaser?
I don't think it's meant to be, but that is kind of how it works, yeah.
What's it called? I've got the computer here now. Oh, so lovely to hear from you, Brian. I've not spoken to you for years. Go on, what's it called?
I think off the top of my head, I think it's called Breeze. B-R-E-Z, I think.
B-R-E-Z, I like that. Like Perez Hilton. Stop snoring remedy. Here it is. Stop snoring remedy. Breeze. Let's have a little look at this bad boy, and we're going to see anti-snoring device. I do sometimes. I wake myself up with my snoring.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I've had that. Stop snoring and breathe easier. Gentle stop snoring aid helps you sleep peacefully. Well, you can't see it. Oh, look at that! Isn't that funny? Oh my God!
It is a bit weird. It is a bit weird, but it does seem to work.
It's like well, it's like a nasal condom with holes at both ends.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to get some of those. I wonder if anyone's ever died through using Breeze, though. No, I'm sure they haven't. I'm sure it's an excellent brand that's never killed anybody.
It does have a little band in between, just so you don't accidentally snore the two round bits up your nose. So it does kind of...
Have you used this, Brian? Is this how you know about it?
I was told by the missus about 3 weeks ago, if you don't sort out your snoring, we're going to get a divorce.
Oy.
I can't afford to get a divorce, but I can afford to spend £10 on getting these little plastic things sticking out of my nose.
They've got different sizes. I mean, no one wants to admit they've got a big nose, but am I going to need a size 6 large? Or
unless your nose has grown in the last 10 years, I'd say that you'd probably be a medium, mate.
What a gentleman. Well, the rest of me's grown, Brian. My gut's grown, but the nose is still the same. Mate, I'm going to try that out. Thank you very much, and it's lovely to speak to you again.
Mate, I hear from you.
Safe journey, Brian. Thank you. Oh, well, Brian, blimey. Years ago, he was a cameraman on Rise. And so he knows where the bodies are buried. And then we did a pilot. We filmed a pilot thing together, which was a really good idea. What was it? We spent the night hanging out with some paparazzi. Hanging out with, or as Brian called them, scum. And we were outside some fancy restaurant with this pap who'd let us follow him, but all the others were getting arsey because we were getting in their way. And then I don't think we saw anyone famous anyway. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? 0844 499 1000. Well, listen, they are looking for sponsors for this show. Okay, we know that. We know.
Could be sponsored by Brez.
I would happily be sponsored by Brez. And the way it would work is we go, OK, well, we'll be back taking your snore-free calls after these short messages. But before we go to the messages, I'd just like to say my sex life is so much better.
Not with one of them in it, wouldn't it?
Thanks to Brez. No, because with Brez, attractive women want to sleep with me. So do attractive men, if that's your thing. Brez is not homophobic in any way whatsoever. And Brez is pro-transgender. And men and women of all ethnicities want to sleep with me, thanks to Brez.
My gran tried the Brez, and my granddad, who also used to be a snorer, got ping pong balls sewn into the back of his pyjama top. But the thing is, he was about...
Could he fire them out?
No, they're in the back of his pyjama top. They weren't up his...
OK.
And it was a remedy that she'd been told about that would stop him from going onto his back.
Yeah.
Trouble was, he was about 18 stone, so he just crushed them.
Yeah, those ping pong balls have got very little purchase. Yeah, they really are flimsy. I mean, which is why ping pong can never be... what do they call it? Whiff-waff. Where is it called whiff-waff? It's called whiff-waff somewhere. Is it China? Is it China they call it whiff-waff? I think they do.
Or are you... making stuff up
No,
again?
no, it's a real thing. 0844 499 1000. Where is it? It's called Whiff-Waff somewhere. I'm sure they do. Anyway, I'm Iain Lee. You're listening to the Late Night Phone-In with Brez.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Now, you know I collect clips of muff-ups on radio.
Yeah.
Someone's just tweeted me one from a station I used to work at.
Oh, yeah.
WM. I've not heard it. Should we have a little listen? We'll hover over the dump, but I don't think it's going to be swears in. Let's have a little listen. Here we go.
Matt on the text says, me and a small group of friends are trying to keep alive the old black country art of rimming. We meet once a week to exchange different styles and techniques. What on earth is rimming, people? Gosh, I don't know what it is. It sounds like something rude, actually. Yeah. Matt, can somebody call Matt, please? Because I have no idea what rimming is, so we need to get him on. It's an old black country art, and they exchange different styles and techniques. And now, while we do that, let's get to Rosemary and Dudley. Morning, Rosemary.
Morning.
What crafts do you take part in?
Well, I don't.
Who's the producer in that scenario?
No. Matt, who I guess is the Matt in that clip, has said right, wrong, or fair game. Oh, mate, fair game. Fair game. I love that. It's a dying art, the art of the prank. We mentioned this yesterday. It is a dying art, and that is hilarious. Oh, well done, mate. Because it's just on the right side. It's rude.
Yeah.
But she's not going to end up with egg on her face. It's not, well.
Not egg, no.
No. Chance to be a fine thing, but she's not going to get the sack for that. She just looks a little bit, silly.
Yeah, but she's delightful, and the innocence is
oh, exactly, and that's the joy of it. Can I play... Can I play...
Sorry.
You know the one I want to play? We've got an email here.
The BCs.
Yeah.
Yeah, play it.
Can you play that one?
Yeah,
that's your call that we're playing that.
Right. It's 23 minutes past 10. This is the moment I get the sack.
If you've got kids listening, well, the thing is,
should be in bed.
We listen. We are breakfast shows around the world with a drive time show around the world. I've just seen Ed finishing off the last drops of his meal. What a disgusting sight! Goodness gracious me, unbelievable. The thing is, it's such high frequency filth.
Exactly, my kids wouldn't understand it.
That people probably. Let me just. Here we go. All right. Okay, so this actually went out on a BBC Local radio show. If you've got any more of these, send them in, because I love these. Here we go.
Definitely.
Oh, hang on. We just had a text message here. My name is Margaret, and I have a lovely pair of thick beef curtains.
No, you don't make curtains out of beef. I think you've got.
And I'm looking for another pair for my spare room. Has anyone got a pair for sale? Thick beef curtains. Am I missing something here?
Is that for midnight snacks? Could be beige.
It could be beige.
Could be.
Could that, Margaret? It could be some innuendo here that I'm not reading in, which I should understand. It could be. I don't know.
Is she a butcher's wife? Do you think?
I have no idea, Margaret. You give us a call. You're on 080. Your last 3 digits. Give us a call. Come on here, and I have no idea what you're talking about. Perhaps it's an old-fashioned design.
It's the oldest design in the world, guys. I love those things. If you go and listen, you have my permission to go and prank all other radio shows with texts and phone calls like that. Make them. I mean, that's nice and affectionate. And what I mean by that, and that and the other one, it's not mean spirited. It's not. There's no meanness about it. Some people might take that as being mean, but there is nothing mean spirited about it. So if you listen, if you do, if you can get those on other radio stations, not this one. But if you can get them on other radio stations, record them, send them to me, and I might exploit them in my live show. There we go. How's about that? Okay. Well, has Ed been smoking crack or something?
Why?
It's turned rogue. He's typed on my screen. What? Not even Julia Hartley-Brewer's show? Ed's gone rogue.
And Australian.
Patrick.
Oh, hi. Yeah, thanks for taking my call. What it is, I've started to collect different types of tea, and I'm wondering if anyone can help me with some tea bagging.
Come on. You know,
you started it.
Yeah, but you can't do it on me, because I know what teabagging is. And the thing is, right, because I was thinking about this a lot. I miss prank calls, and prank calls don't really work on this show because there's no
disruption.
There's no disruption. They fit in, the content fits in. You can literally come on and say anything you want, and there's no...
Well, I didn't ring in for that, but I just felt like my original ringing has just been debunked by everyone who's there.
No. Listen, I know, because you've been waiting for quarter of an hour, and I appreciate you giving up your valuable Tuesday evening. But no, and I appreciate...
It's Wednesday.
What?
Yeah.
You're joking.
It's been Wednesday for ages.
I was supposed to be looking after the kids today.
And it's my 25th wedding anniversary.
Now, is that a prank?
No. I'm just reenacting my wedding night.
Is it? Is it really? What, teabagging? Is it really your 25th wedding anniversary?
It is, yeah.
Why are you phoning me up? You should be having it off.
Oh.
Well, he should be.
They don't anymore, not after 25 years.
No, she should be dressed up in her suzzies. He should be wearing his elephant thong, and they should be...
Oh, blimey, what an image.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me. No, I was saving it till Saturday, so...
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Yeah. All right, you save it all up.
I'm sorry, where were we? Yeah.
I don't know. Where were we? Happy wedding anniversary.
Thank you very much.
It's what you meant to say.
Yes, that's what I meant to say. I do apologise. Very naughty show tonight.
Sorry. Anyway, yes. Silly band names, great records.
Yeah, go on. So this is the phone. This is it. Silly band names, great records. Away you go.
The Sultans of Ping FC and Where's Me Jumper?
Oh.
Wait a minute. Bumper to bumper.
Dancing at the disco.
Wait a minute. Where's me jumper?
Where's me jumper?
I vaguely remember it. But was that song actually any good?
Well, to be fair, I was really chancing my arm because it's the only really daft band I could think of.
Yeah.
But I happen to quite like that record, so I really was taking a gamble. And
I vaguely remember. Yeah, that was a good song.
It was fun.
That was a bit of fun, wasn't it? A bit of bouncy fun. The Sultans of Ping FC. I remember they were always around. Seemed to be around when I was a teenager. When were they? About 88, 89?
Can't recall, but that was all I had, to be fair. But
yes.
Before you go, if you are going, you said was it your uncle who couldn't sleep? You said his name Uncle something.
No, I said that Meatloaf. Look, now he's had his hair. No, yeah. Sam Allardyce looks like Meatloaf, who looks like my Uncle Shamus.
Shamus. Oh, that was just Uncle Shamus. Sorry, I was trying to think of his name.
Why do you know him?
No.
Does he owe you money as well?
No. It was just an unusual name. That was all.
Well, there you go, Patrick. Thank you very much indeed. It's a real name, guys.
It's Scottish.
No.
Really?
Irish, isn't it?
Isn't that Seamus?
Well, I know, but I don't really know. I'm not spoken to him for.
Since you called him Shamus
for 10 years,
and he didn't correct you.
I don't speak to any of my family. I don't speak to any of my family now. Isn't that sad?
Well, sometimes not.
Well, 0844. I always got on really well with Shamus. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. It's the first 30 minutes of the show, guys. You see, that's what it's all about. Do give us a call. We call you back. This is Talk Radio, sponsored by Brez.
Uncut after-hours conversation for the up-all-night generation. Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Iron Butterfly sing Inagada Davida. Should we have a little listen to a bit of it?
Yeah.
Let's,
Meanwhile, in other news, I've just eaten my first fig that's not in a fig roll.
Oh, I love... When we go to Greece, you just walk along the street, just plucking fresh figs. Oh, I'm feeling peckish. Put your hand up, pluck a fresh fig. Say that carefully. Oh, I have that, and then pluck another one. Oh, and then you eat too many, and you get the trots.
So thanks for the warning.
The figs here. There's no point. Iron Butterfly. Inagada Davida. Inagada Davida. 17 minutes.
What?
Here we go. Let's here we go. This is a great song. This is. Yeah. Here we go. Boom, boom. That's it. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, I like that.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. In a garden of freedom, don't you know that I love you? In a garden of freedom, baby. Don't you know that I'll always be true? Oh, yeah! Oh, won't you come with me? There we go. And I'll take my hand. Oh, won't you come with me? And I'll walk this line. Please take my hand. Imagine another 16 minutes of that.
Sound a lot like that, won't it?
It pretty much is. If I remember it correctly, it pretty much is that all the way through. Don't do drugs, kids.
There's no women in that band, is there?
No.
No, because they would have said, can you do a beginning, middle and end, and can we crack on?
It's funny, you can tell different bands what drugs they take from the music they make.
Right.
Like the Beatles, an LSD band.
Of course.
Fleetwood Mac, a cocaine band. The Buzzcocks were an amphetamine band because the Buzzcocks songs and all 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
That's all they are. And I'm guessing they were a big fat reefer band there. Oh man alive! Don't do drugs, kids, because you'll think that your crap band is really, really good.
For 17 minutes worth of song is fine.
I can't think of any song. What's the Donovan Atlantis, the lost city of Atlantis. That goes on for a long time. Yeah, the problem with drugs is that you totally lose all concept of what is good music. I mean, Jimi Hendrix, for example.
Self-indulgent.
Awful.
He's just pleasing himself there on stage, isn't he?
Anyone can play guitar with their teeth and do a whittle on their guitar. It's easy.
Look at Eric Clapton.
No.
Layla. That goes on. Yeah, but then at the end there's that sort of symphony thing, isn't there?
Yeah, which they. I heard a documentary about it the other day. They tagged it on about 2 months later. They just went in the I think it was the drummer. Said, "Yes, Gatford."
Yeah, I always thought the name of that song was In the Garden of Eden.
No.
No.
If you've been no, it's In a Gada Davida. In a Gada Davida, and he was so mashed up on drug that he couldn't say In the Garden of Eden.
But it is supposed to be that, but they couldn't say no.
Why are you? I just told you the answer.
Well, okay.
Repeat the answer back to me.
He couldn't sing In the Garden of Eden, so he did In a Gana Davida.
Yes. And why couldn't he sing it?
Drugs?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why did you say it with a question mark at the end? I've literally just told you the answer.
Drugs.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get it wrong. You know, I hate getting things wrong.
Well, don't do drugs then, guys, because drugs get it all wrong.
I know you're wrong about Whiff Waff. It's called Whiff Waff in this country, or at least it was.
I didn't. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. I didn't attribute.
Well, you thought it was China.
What is going on with him tonight? I didn't attribute.
He's trying to deliberately provoke you.
I didn't attribute. Shut up. I didn't attribute Whiff Waff to any region of the world.
Well,
you thought it might have been China, but you agree.
I put it out there. I put it out there as a possibility. I didn't say it definitely was. I hadn't reached. I hadn't deferred to Connie Huck, Christopher Biggins, and Nigel Havers to get their answer. Have you seen that quiz?
No. What's that?
Have you listened to any of this show? I tell you what, go and have a think about yourself.
Stop antagonising Gatford.
He can stay on that line and have a think about himself. That's what we started the show off. The whole point of the show tonight was who's a fan of that programme that's hosted by Patrick Keelty and features Connie Huck, Chris Biggins, and Nigel the Chancer Havers.
That we can't remember what his name is.
Alan will know because Alan's like a weird TV remembering machine. Alan.
Hip, hip, hip.
Straight to the point. What's the name of that quiz?
What quiz?
Oh.
Is anyone listening? Are you listening to the show, mate?
Sorry, I'm on a delay because I'm tired.
Why are you tired? 'Cause you've been up smoking Mayfair all night in your flat?
No, I haven't had any tonight.
Well, go and have a Mayfair, go on. Or go and buy a packet of man's fags.
What, being cold?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Get stuck in there, sunshine. If you're going to smoke, smoke.
Mayfair are horrible. My husband used to smoke them.
What about Embassy?
Embassy, yeah, it's a proper fag. Yeah.
But they're charging about $10.50 a pack, though.
Tough, mate. If you want the goods, you want to get that intake of nicotine.
Are you a smoker or not?
I'm a smoker, but
Commit, Alan. Either smoke or give up. Don't sit on the fence and smoke Ponzi Mayfair, although I'm sure they're an excellent brand.
Another brands are available.
Other brands certainly are available. And just to let all the kids know, that was an ironic satire on the dangers of smoking. Of course, smoking can seriously stunt your growth.
Prank calls.
Sorry?
Prank calls. One of your friends at WM was caught up with a prank call.
Are you going to say the one about rimming?
No, Caroline Martin and the Minge.
That wasn't a prank call, though. That was an old woman talking about how she was broken in by someone putting a stick in her minge. I've got it on my computer. I won't play it, but that wasn't a prank call.
Can you all stop saying that word?
Which one? Minge?
No, stick.
Very filthy show tonight. Let's try and reel it in.
It's too late.
It is. We're all going to get the sack. Yeah, that was.
Alan, what are you doing?
I know what Murdoch's thinking.
I never forget when I was working at another radio station and it was taken over by a company spearheaded by Richard Park, the confrontational, fiery Scotchman from Fame Academy. And the first night he came in to... Alan, could you stop breathing for a minute, mate? It's upsetting us. Thank you. The first night he came in to see my show being done, I'd invited a 17-year-old ginger lad called G-Man in to host the show for a bit. And I was sat in the studio reading a magazine while G-Man's on there going, yeah, right, who's next? Who's line 2? What you got for me? And I walked out into the control room and Richard Park was sat there. What are you doing, Alan?
I was doing my Darth Vader.
OK, well, you leave your Darth Vader alone, OK, mate? Thank you very much indeed. I mean...
Did you have your feet on the desk?
No, I was reading the magazine. I don't really feel the show's started yet. It feels a bit...
And yet we've covered so much
filth.
No,
it feels a bit... We've been too filthy. We'll
rein it
in.
We'll
rein that in. I don't feel I don't feel I feel we've wasted 39 minutes of broadcast time. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't feel very good tonight. It feels... well, it feels cheap, so we'll rein in the rudeness a bit. But it doesn't feel like we've kind of... It's not clicking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you feel that, or is it just me being over?
I think you are being a bit over, but I know what you mean. Sometimes it's hard to get a purchase on it.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a break, sponsored by Braze. And when we come back, we're going to go to Gatford and...
he's going to save the show.
He's going to save the show, perfect.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Gatford!
Iain, so good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you, boss. What have you got for us?
And to talk to Kath as well.
Yeah.
Always good to talk to Kath. It's a pleasure. I've been a little on edge recently, and I'm going to tell you why.
Go on.
I think I'm being hounded by young people on bicycles.
Yeah.
Up on their back wheels. In the last 3 days, I have seen 7 of them.
What do you mean, doing popping wheelies?
Yeah, but like for long periods of time, right. And it's because, and I'm in the last 3 days, I've noticed 7 of them, and 4 of them have almost knocked me over. I think they're ganging up on me. I saw
a lad riding a bicycle on the pavement. I think they were allowed to. I think there's a bit of pavement bikes are allowed to ride on.
Yeah.
And he was going one way, and it's a long bit of pavement. It was coming in near Earl's Court, and there was a woman riding her bicycle the other way on the pavement, and some people walking. And he was popping a long wheelie. No hands as well. No hands wheelie.
Really? Wow.
And is that possible, actually?
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know. And I just thought, you little SH1T.
But that's exactly what I think. When I see them, I want them to fall off.
Yeah.
Because they're like, they're just showing off for like nobody. Because they're not with their mates. They're just on their own.
I could never master the wheelie, even though I had a grifter, which is a good bike. My grifter was a famous grifter. My dad stole it from the BBC where he worked. It was Pogo Patterson's grifter from Grange Hill. Yes, it was.
Really?
Yes, it was. Pogo Patterson's grifter.
Did it have the gears and everything?
It had the gears. Well, the gears were broken, but you could rev it like a motorbike, right. So it was better. Pogo Patterson's grifter from Grange Hill, ladies and gentlemen, was my bicycle. At least that's what I was told. Please don't send me pictures of Pogo Patterson's grifter, so I go, but that's what I was told. But I could never master the art of the wheelie. I remember there was
I could do no hands. I could never do a wheelie.
I could do no hands a bit, but then I'd get in serious trouble. But I remember there was a kid that was a couple of years older than me, and he was excellent doing wheelies, and he told me, and only now am I remembering this and realising it was obviously a lie. He told me, he said, you're really good at doing wheelies. Where'd you learn to do that? He said, circus. I was like, oh, right. He said, yeah, when the circus came through, I got chatting to them, and they taught me how to do it. Now I think on it, there was never any circus near where we lived. So that was a lie.
It's a good lie.
It's a brilliant lie, actually.
You bought it, so...
It's taken me about 35 years
of looking for circuses.
I think there are more young people popping wheelies on longer stretches, and I'm worried.
Well, maybe there's just... because of the immigrants... there are more kids over here with circus skills.
I hadn't thought of that. Thank goodness for Brexit, and we can get rid of them all.
Are we allowed to push them? And what's the age that... let me rephrase that question. At what age are we allowed to push them off their bikes? Is it 43? Because I'm that age.
Can I shout at them and they fall off naturally? Is that allowed?
Here's the thing, right? Dom Jolly's filmed a new series of Trigger Happy TV. I say a new series. There are 6 5-minute episodes for the internet.
Oh, well.
And and we're celebratory here, so I'm looking forward. I probably won't get to watch them because I'm busy, but I'm sure they'll be excellent. I'm sure they'll be excellent.
Get someone to tell you about them after they've seen them, sort of thing.
That'll be great. I'll read an online blog about it. Well, Gatford, I hope we've put your mind at ease.
You have. I've got.
Thank you very much indeed. I'm not sure he was talking about that. Wheelies. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I've just got a feeling tonight's show isn't going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Well, look, if it just bobs along, it bobs along.
Well, I know, but I have... you may find this hard to believe, dear listener, but I have very high standards in terms of what I want the show to be like. And I've just got a feeling that tonight's not going to hit there. And now that I'm thinking that, there's no way it can hit there, you see. Self-fulfilling prophecy is the thing. I went and saw the Louis Theroux Scientology documentary today that he finished a year ago. He's not been able to show it for a year because of legal problems with the Scientologists. And it won't be shown in Ireland because it breaches blasphemy laws there. It's a really interesting film. I think it's flawed in many places. I think there are a couple of scenes that don't really work, in my humble opinion. What do I know? I'm just a punter. But overall, I like Louis Theroux, and I find him imminently.
Yes. No, eminently.
And imminently, because I might watch some during the break. Watchable.
Yeah, I like him.
I find him very charming. And I tell you what he's brilliant at in this film, right? He's got it down to a real art. And I've sort of nicked it. No, I haven't nicked it, actually. I've kind of found it on my own way, really. And have kind of developed my... The silence. He's brilliant at the silence. And there are a couple of bits in the film where he's just stood with someone and he asks them a question and they answer it. And he doesn't say anything in response, right? And it was weird. It made some people laughed in the audience, and I'm guessing some were uncomfortable because it's quite long. Some probably thought he was doing it almost as a metaphorical wink to the camera, as if to say, "This guy's a jerk." I think he was doing it because you get more out of people as an interviewer when you're silent. It's such a great trick. It doesn't always work, but I tell you where I learnt it from. Right, this is where I learnt the silence from. Don't get done, get Dom. Do you remember that?
Yes.
With I don't know what his name is. Dom
something.
Dom. Right. Don't get done, get Dom. Right. And this is exactly where I learnt it from. It's about 8, 9, 10 years ago. Right. And Dom was do you know what I mean? Dear listener, don't get done, get Dom. He's like a consumer champ. He talks a bit like that. Did a programme
looks like a little bruiser.
Yeah. It looks like a potato. He did a programme with Melinda Messenger on Channel 5, right? But this was Don't Get Done, Get Dom, right? And it was the best bit of advice I've ever seen, right? No, it wasn't. It was the second best bit of advice I've ever seen on a TV programme. The first best bit of advice was Nerys Hughes on a daytime programme called Bazaar in the early 90s, where she taught you how to put on a duvet cover. Yeah. Hassle-free.
What, inside out? Inside
out, hands in the corners. I didn't know that until I was like,
The problem I have is I'm not tall enough to be able to flick it properly, so I have to dangle it over the stairs.
No, you don't. If you just got to shake, you don't have to be tall, you shake it on the bed, it shakes about, then you flip it over and you just tuck it in yourself.
If it hits the floor before I can get a decent flick on it.
Anyway, so Don't Get Done, Get Dom. His advice was about buying a car. Right? And when you're buying a car, you go in, say there's a car for £10,000, and you go in and you're negotiating. Right? I thought this was balls of steel, and he showed it. He sent someone in with a hidden camera and showed it. And you go in and go, okay, what's the best price you can do on that car? And you sit back, and they'll come up with, okay, well, we can probably get 9.2. You don't say anything. Just stare at them. And just stare at them. And he said, you stare at them as long as it takes. Woo! They will fill that silence.
That makes me feel funny already.
And he secret filmed it, and the guy went, I think we could get it down to 8.7. And I remember I went and did this, right? shortly after I'd seen it, I was buying a car with my wife. And I went in and I said, what's the best price you can do? Right. And they came down by about £1,000. And my wife went, great, OK, we'll take it.
I've not finished my technique.
But that's where I learnt it from. The fact that 0844 499 1000, by the way. The fact that the person being asked the question feels pressure to fill that gap. And when you're doing it in an interview with someone, they will they'll answer the question, why are you making these cuts? Well, we're making these cuts because we have to save money.
Although we realise it's going to be...
Yeah, exactly. They feel they have to fill that gap.
It's true.
And they fill it.
I learned that technique from my boss at Topshop, Zhuja.
Yeah, Zhuja.
Because you'd go in and say, Zhuja, I'm sorry, I can't do next Saturday. Silence. Maybe I'll come in the week and do some extra hours and stuff to make it up. And you would find yourself stumbling into it. And I did it so many times. I thought, I know what she's doing now.
Do you remember at the Three Counties, I had a run-in with a gentleman that worked there. Do you remember when I wanted to arrange a meeting with a gentleman that obviously had problems working with me? And he said, well, I don't want to have a meeting with you until I've spoken to my line manager. And I said, well, why don't we go and have it now? He said, no, I don't. I said, well, why don't we go and have it now? And I kept saying it until he went, OK, fine. And that meeting ended in that way. It was really uncomfortable, honest meeting where I said to him very calmly, I was seeing an excellent therapist at the time, I nicked all the techniques off him. I said, why are you so unhappy working on the show? What can I do to make it a more pleasant experience for all of us? Because we're all being affected. And he rattled off a list of things, and I batted some of them back, and some of them I said, OK, well, I apologise if that's how you feel. And we can. And then it ended with him going, and I said, well, OK, and that's how I feel. OK, well, I'm glad you've felt that. I'm glad we've had this conversation because I feel I understand you a bit better now. Silence, literally for 2 minutes, just staring at each other. And 2 minutes is such a long time. It was so uncomfortable. And after 2 minutes, he went, and that's all I have to say on the matter. And I went, OK. I wasn't going to get up and walk out. I had no intention of getting up and walking out. And it was so uncomfortable. But actually I thought, I don't like this guy. This guy doesn't like me. This could be a pivotal moment when I leave. Either way, we're not going to be working together much longer because this is unsustainable. I'm going to see what this feels like. And we were there for the 2 minutes. Then he said something. Then there was another minute, maybe 45 seconds. And he went, so are we done? I went, yeah, I think so. Sat there. Another 45 seconds. And he went...
Meanwhile, I'm sitting outside thinking, who's been killed?
Yeah. And then he went, right, well, I'm going to go then. I went, OK. Oh, it was uncomfortable. I mean, in total, it was about 4.5 minutes of us just sat there in silence. Maybe a little bit less, maybe 3.5 minutes. But such a long time for two egos to be psychically battling with each other.
I was thinking about that time the other day.
Yeah, it was tense, wasn't it?
It was awful.
It was awful.
I'm really not sure what that was about.
It was about control, and it was about power, and it was about two different styles of doing radio. You and I had one particular style. Me as the presenter, you as the producer. Were you producing then? You were, weren't you?
Yeah.
Me as the presenter, you as the producer.
Yeah.
And
he criticised me a bit as well.
And he had a different style, and more people, and also he was spreading untruths around the office about stuff. But more people kind of got our style than got his style. But it was just a clash of egos, and it didn't work, and we didn't get on, and. With some people, you just don't get on. I wish him the very best of luck in everything that he does, and I wish him success and happiness, But some people just don't get on, and I don't think there are ways around that every time. I think quite more often than not there are ways around it, but sometimes you can't work around it. And then he went to another station, and that was great.
It's really brave to confront it, though, because a lot of people just, you know...
Oh, that's because I was seeing an American therapist at the time, who was the most expensive therapist I've ever seen. I couldn't really see him for more than a few months. But he was the best man the best person I've ever worked with on my psyche. And he just taught me all these techniques. That was the reason why I went and... Remember that woman told me off for sitting outside a cafe?
He's the guy that told you to choose discomfort over resentment.
That's a Brené Brown quote. Choose discomfort over resentment. And it's really... basically, what it means is... If Kath has... Now, let's not pick Kath, because we get on quite well. Let's say, for example... say, for example, Paul Ross had slagged me off or said something that I'd found personally offensive about me on his show. I could either choose resentment, which means I would
carry it around.
I would be carrying it around, and I'd come in and I'd say, Paul Ross has been a tosser today, you know, and it would eat me up, and it wouldn't get any better. It would always be there. Or I could choose the discomfort of phoning him up or coming in early and saying, Paul, I feel I really need to speak to you about what you said the other day. Can we go out for a coffee and have a chat about it? And that's what it means. Choose the discomfort of facing it face on, approaching it face on, or resentment. And it's so uncomfortable, but it works every time. Well, it's worked.
I did it once.
Yeah.
I did it once with I'm going to say it. I did it once with my brother-in-law's girlfriend, who hated my guts.
Okay.
Hated my guts. And I could feel it. You know, the sort of person who, when you walk into a room and she's there, all of a sudden you feel like you're talking 10 times louder and you're being really annoying, and it's, you know, that it's kind of like the atmosphere is sour. So I went over to see her one day. I said, listen, let's sort this out, because it looks like neither of us is going anywhere soon. Let's have a conversation. It's ridiculous for us to be like this. You feel weird, I feel weird. And at the end of our conversation, which was really brief, she just said, I just don't like you.
Well, and there's no way around that.
Well, there's nothing I can do about that then.
There's no way around that, you know, sometimes. It's just, there's nothing you can do, really. Anyway, yes, 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. And you don't have to if you don't want. I think today's show is going to be Bitty McLean, where some bits will be quite good. And some bits, you know, it might not work, and it doesn't always catch the wind. You know, you can't capture lightning. 0844 499 1000. Dear listener, my name is Iain Lee, and you have the pleasure of listening to Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio. We'll get you talking. Talk Radio.
0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. We're just going to bump along and kind of see what comes up and what doesn't come up. It's as simple as that. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
In the cover of Inagada Davida has reminded me that I had that on a psychedelic album, and there was another song on there, and I was frantically trying to find it during that news broadcast, and I think I found it now. We can't play all of it because it's 7 minutes long. Oh no, we'll go 3 minutes. Let's try this. I remember this. This is by the band Vanilla Fudge, right? Doing a cover of the Supremes' You Keep Me Hanging On. Now, I remember this as a 15-year-old boy being excellent. Mm-hmm. I haven't heard it for 28 years. Should we give it a punt?
Let's see if
Let's give it a punt.
I can do about it.
Oh, yeah, that'll do. That was good, wasn't it?
That was better than the Supremes.
Vanilla Fudge. I know very, very little about them. I've just looked on Wikipedia. They're still playing, guys. That song, probably, because I know it goes on and on and on. That was even better than 15-year-old me remembered it.
It's really good.
Don't know anything about Vanilla Fudge, though. They kind of about 67, 68-ish, because they pop... I read books about that time quite a lot. And if you're reading a book about American stars, they kind of get mentioned from time. Them and Moby Grape, and a band I know nothing about, just that they existed at the time. Katia, that was good, huh?
Yeah, that's really good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than Kansas.
Here we go again.
Here we go.
But Carmine, I can read here that Carmine a peach. How do you?
I'll call you a peach. What? Come in a peach. Call you a peach.
Carmine a peach, because that's the thing. You're never really quite sure on how you have to pronounce his name. I heard an interview with him. The drummer in this band.
Vanilla Fudge.
No, yeah. In Vanilla Fudge, it's Carmine Apice. If you say that in kind of Italian.
Carmine Apice.
Carmine Apice.
Carmine Apice.
Is it not
Yeah.
Carmine?
Carmine? Yeah, well, maybe.
Is he American?
He's American. Well, he's...
Carmine Apice, yes.
Yeah. And his brother, Vinny Apice, so he's a drummer as well. So that's really exciting, actually. So
yes.
I'm gonna...
Let's get Vanilla Fudge on the show.
Let's try.
Let's get Vanilla Fudge on the show. The three of the four are still playing, so let's get Vanilla Fudge on this show, guys. That's what we're going to do, Katia. That's how we roll here on Talk Radio. We've got our finger on the pulse.
I just googled Vanilla Fudge and I've got lots of pictures of actual, fudge.
That is fair play. That is a brilliant name for a band, Vanilla Fudge.
Yeah,
I want to buy a Vanilla Fudge best of now. Anyway, Katia.
I was reading about rubbish names for bands,
yes.
But bands that turn out actually quite very good.
Here we go. Look, you can buy the Psychedelic Sunday, the best of Vanilla Fudge, £2.69. I mean, really, it'd be rude not to, wouldn't it?
So for years I avoided septic flesh because I thought...
Septic flesh?
Yes.
Is this back to yesterday's conversation?
No. I thought it was going to be grindcore, probably with such a name. Turns out it's not. It's now one of my favourite bands. It's symphonic metal. It's a Greek band, and now I'm saying this on air. I think it's going to happen if I'm saying that. I want to interview them. That's my mission.
Now, so you do a podcast? A radio show?
Yeah, yes, sort of a radio show. Well, it depends, really, if I can find people who want to broadcast me. But, yeah, sometimes I've got radio shows all over the place.
And so how do people hear this radio show?
Well, the next one with Kansas is going to be on Total Rock.
Total Rock.
Yeah, get that.
And then you go what? You go and chase these interviews up yourself, do you?
I chase the interview, yes.
Well, do you? You just send an email to the band saying, "Can I come and talk to you, please? I'm with Total Rock."
I have this woman. She's a PR.
Oh.
For
you're on a list.
Yeah,
You're
I'm on a
she's
list.
on a list. I want to get on a list.
I'm on Sharon's list.
I want to be. Well, I don't know if I want to be on Sharon's list, but I'd like to be on a list.
Well, she's got Steve Hackett and Adrian Vandenberg.
Yeah, Sharon's list.
And she's got Billy Idol. I want to get Billy Idol.
I'm going to get Billy Idol.
No, I'm going to get him first.
Have you heard Billy Idol's Christmas album?
The Christmas album? When is Christmas?
What do you mean, when is Christmas? It's in December.
Same every year,
isn't it?
Katya. It's the same every year.
He did a Christmas album.
Right. Can't.
What?
No.
Have you not heard it?
No.
It is absolutely brilliant.
Okay.
Here we go. This is Billy Idol singing White Christmas.
Of a white Christmas,
yeah,
just like the ones I used.
The whole album, I bought it as an ironic present for my sister. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I love a bit of Billy Idol. I think he's ridiculous and over the top, which is totally what we want for our pop stars. It is, isn't it? It's what we want.
I'm going to get that. It's
honestly, it is superb. The whole album.
Okay.
You can probably get it for button. Here we go. Hang on a minute. Here we go. Listen to this, son. This is Billy Idol, ladies and gentlemen, singing Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty the Snowman was a jolly happy soul with a corncob pipe and a button nose and his eyes made out of coal. Frosty.
He sounds like Paul Nicholas.
He's singing it nicely, I was going to say.
Frosty the Snowman. I love it. Fair play to him. Fair play to him. Billy, you're right, Katya. I think Billy Idol is one of those people. Yeah. He can't. He's always been pantomime, you know, and you can't. I don't think he can do any wrong. Good for Billy Idol. Well, Kath, put Billy Idol on the list. Put Billy Idol on the list.
Okay.
But well, that's good. It's good you do that. And when you go and interview these people, what preparation do you do?
I do. I do quite a lot, actually. I tend to, I'd say that for 2 or 3 weeks I read biographies or we're so lucky nowadays that we've got the internet, so you can listen to as many interviews as you want, and then I will listen to as many albums as I can.
I try. I'm not telling you what to do. We're comparing notes now. I like reading books. Generally, when we get people on, I generally know quite a bit about them anyway because I'm a fan. You know, we are lucky that we have the privilege that we can ask people that we like. But sometimes there are people I don't know that much about. I try and avoid other interviews with them because I don't want to kind of be influenced by them. I tend not to, unless it's someone that no one else knows, only I know, but someone might know them by their biggest hit. I tend not to play the biggest hits because they always like that. If you come in with something, you know, like a B-side from 1972, they go, "Oh, how do you know?" Or from one of their not quite so good solo albums, "Oh, how do you know about that?" You've won them over. I've won them over instantly. And I tend not to go in with notes. The last couple of interviews I've gone in with notes. Well, I realised when I was talking to Hunter Davis about a book he'd written, I was thinking of another book by another person. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't say the name of it. John sent me an email today saying you forgot Philip Norman. I was like, oh God, I was thinking of Philip Norman's book when I was talking to Hunter Davis. That's terrible, isn't it?
Wow.
That is terrible.
Yeah, definitely. But what you said about not listening to too many interviews, actually, I completely concur with that. I'd say I probably listen to a maximum of 2 or 3, and that's it, really. Because, I don't want to be influenced by them. And usually it's really old interviews that I listen to, so, many things have happened since.
Have you got anyone lined up?
Anyone at this very moment, not really. She asked me if I wanted to interview someone that I'm not interested in anyway, so I'm not going to. Already I've forgotten his name. Oh. He used to sing with Genesis, but...
the bloke that from the Gene advert, the Stiltskin. Yeah, the bloke from Stiltskin, when Genesis made an album that sold 15 copies, he was the lead singer, and he's got a new album out, and yeah, you did well there to avoid that.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Katia.
Yeah, you're very welcome, bye.
Yeah, her voice got higher and higher at the end. Thank you, Katia. I tend not to go in with notes unless it's... I did with Weird Al because I wasn't quite sure, and I'm glad I did with Weird Al because Weird Al was, when I say a tough interview, I don't mean that in a negative way about him, but I think he's just quite shy, and his answers are quite kind of clipped and short. And it's not really a flowing conversation as it is with a lot of the other interviews, and that's just it's not Christian at all. I love the man. I think he can do no wrong in my eyes. But I'd forgotten that from when I interviewed him last time, and I struggled a bit on that one. But generally, I just kind of
chat to them.
Yeah, so you get the best. That's how I get the best of it. Everyone's got their own thing, and also if you've got questions written down, you go. You're thinking, oh God, I've got to get him back to question 4, and I don't know how I'm going. I missed question 5 out. Oh no. Whereas and always generally I come away from interviews and go, I wanted to ask about that. It doesn't matter.
But it was a conversation.
Yeah.
When I first started out in journalism, my dad's a journalist as well, and I remember asking him about interviews and whether he went in with questions, and he said, well, have a think about the sort of areas, but the most important thing is listening, because I did start out and I'd go in with like 5 questions that I really needed to get in, and then I'd listen back and I'd think, they were telling me something else there and I wasn't listening to that. I didn't follow the cue.
I will have bullet points is what I have. I don't have questions, and I will have bullet points when we speak to Melanie next week, because I'm not that familiar with her history, so I will do some reading over the weekend, and I will have bullet points of things that I'm particularly keen to hit. And I might... Someone recommended I watch an interview with Luke Haynes. Again, another person that... I find him... I'm a little bit intimidated at the thought of him coming in. Because in his books, and I'm sure he's been absolutely delightful on emails and Twitter. Absolutely delightful and charming. I'm sure he is a very charming man. But in his books, he's very sweary and he's quite angry.
I know, but are you an amplified version of yourself?
No, but he says in the introduction, I'm writing this in the voice that I would have used in the 90s. Right. So this kind of, loud, brash, but possibly chemically fueled, arrogant young man. And he's going to be delightful. I'm looking forward to it.
Of course he is.
But I'm going to do a bit of research.
Do you remember how much you were worried about Will Storr coming in, and we wanted to keep him, didn't we?
Yeah, I was. Because he's an intellectual giant. We've got Mark Mason coming in a couple of weeks. Now, Mark Mason is brilliant. Now, he's written some books, and whenever I say these books, people go, oh yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. But actually, he's brilliant. He wrote, I can't remember the titles, and I'll find them out. He wrote a brilliant book where he walked all the routes of the London Underground, but above ground.
Yeah.
They sound like such dull books.
Well, don't you remember when you told me about it, my eyes glazed over? Yeah, but when he came in, he was amazing.
Oh, he's brilliant. He wrote another book, my favourite one of his, was he travelled from Land's End to John O'Groats by buses, not like a coach that's at the whole way. He'd get like the number 43 from Land's End, and then he'd go and as he write, and it sounds so dry.
Male Obsession and Walk the Lines.
Yeah, that was it. No, Male Obsession is the one that he's coming into play.
Oh, the postcode thing.
The postcode thing. Mm-hmm. And he's brilliant, and he knows he's coming in, and I love him. He's such a down to earth man, and he's just full of trivia. He's one of those people. I've been out for lunch with him, and you'll sit and you'll say something. Go, oh, well, here's an interesting thing about that. And some people it could wind them up the wrong way, or rub them the wrong way. I love it. I'll just sit there and I'll just follow it, and then I'll try and fire back general knowledge to him, and he'll go, yeah, no.
Of course he does.
0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Now, John Holmes is well worth a listen, by the way. He's on 1 till 4 weekdays, and he's thoroughly entertaining. I thought it was a joke when he tweeted yesterday that he'd got the sack from the Now show on BBC Radio 4, which I'll be honest is a terrible show anyway, but that he'd got the sack because they wanted more diversity in terms of ethnicity and gender. And I thought, oh, that's quite a funny gag from John. But then I checked with a few people, and it's true.
He's not joking.
He's basically the only consistently funny thing on that awful show. I really can't stand it, but I think I would listen to it because I like listen. And it was a real moment. I always wondered why people who hate me listen to me. And there's that lovely Howard Stern quote: "People who like me listen to me for an hour. People who hate me listen to me for 2 hours." And I always wondered why people would listen to me and then send me abuse. Think, why are you listening? And I got it when I listened to the Now show because I enjoyed feeling self-righteous and angry. I enjoyed it. And I thought it was a terrible show, but I thought John... They had some guests on that were quite funny, occasionally, including one who I did a show with the other day. I can't remember his name. Anyway, but I always thought John was, like, consistently funny. When he came on, I thought he was very amusing, and he's trying to do something a bit different on there. And they've got rid of him to replace him with, different ethnicities and different genders and probably a wheelchair or two, And it is... and I said this out loud. It is. I'm going to say it. It is political correctness gone mad.
Here's the thing as well. Having been the woman that was brought into a show, not this one. I was brought into a breakfast show at one point, and the guy who was doing the breakfast show didn't appreciate it. And he knew I was being brought in because I was a woman. I knew I was being brought in because I was a woman. And it didn't do me any favours. I mean,
and also, the Now show...
Give me a job because I'm good.
Yeah.
Don't give me a job because I've got the right bits.
The Now show is the most liberal, lefty, show on Radio 4, which is quite a liberal, lefty station anyway. And you just think, God, I mean... And I just don't get it. And also, John's not on it every week, and they have guests on it, and they have, revolving team members. Well, expand that revolving base of semi-regular team members, and, the guests, and get rid of Punt or Dennis. Either or.
Aren't they the bosses of it, though?
I mean, flipping it. But they do this terrible thing. I don't mean to speak ill of John's, former colleagues. But they do this terrible thing when they get to the end of a sketch and they go, "Thank you!" So that everyone goes, "Oh, it's the end of the sketch," because there was no punchline there.
The one word that jumps to mind with a lot of the stuff that I hear that's supposed to be funny on Radio 4, and some of it's brilliant,
is
smug. Smug.
Yeah. It's just not funny. And it's a really weird thing. And when I found out that was real, I thought, that's another nail in the coffin of the BBC. They're really on the back foot at the moment, and that tiny adjustment to the Now show. Well, and also because they've come out and said, yeah, that's what we're doing. Well, now they're a laughing stock. Now they look ridiculous. Everyone, I'm a liberal lefty, and I'm going, well, you look stupid now. What stupid thing to do, and to have admitted that that's what you're doing. If you're going to do it quietly, and say, well, John, we've had a great few years with you. We're not going to renew your contract for the next series, but we wish you the best of luck.
But coming back to what I was saying, who'd want to be the woman that was brought into that scenario? Who'd want to be the non-white person brought into that? Because it feels like you're the token, doesn't it?
Oh dear, I'm glad I'm out of the BBC. I was so proud when I worked there, and I still have the fob. I still have the fob, so we can still get into those buildings. But I was so proud to, even though it was crappy little local radio station that had terrible reach and you know, we terrible listening figures. We increased the listening figures when we were there, as I've always done.
Oh, do you know what? We had fun at times as well.
Oh, it was fun, but I was proud to have that fob.
Yeah,
I was proud to work at the BBC, and then you just, when you get caught in the machinations of it all, and I just think it's ridiculous. A lot of it's so ridiculous, and the BBC is if they're not careful, they're gonna destroy themselves.
But for the most part, it's not the people making the programmes that are making these decisions, is it? It's the bean counters.
It's the suits.
Rona, whom a lot of them
Rona
have been.
Fairhead
Yeah, exactly, they've all gone,
got
haven't they?
booted. I mean, and she was high up on the list of people that got rid of me. And I kind of thought, well. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. Tris, I'll come to you in a minute. I'll come to you after the break. It's Wednesday, not Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I think maybe because my head is all over the shop at the moment. I'm literally the worst week of my life this week, despite the good news about my mum. Just the worst week. I'm finding it hard to get the show to kind of rise today. You know, it feels a little bit flaccid, basically, and I don't think we're an hour and a half into it, and we've had some good bits. It's not a complete write-off by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think I think this is as good as it's going to get. Basically, I just, I don't think we're going to reach the dizzy heights of excitement that we've had the last couple of shows. They can't all be winners, guys. They can't all be winners, I suppose, is the lesson. So what we're going to do, we're going to hunker down. Another hour and a half of this. We'll get through it. We'll come out of it the other side, and then we'll double our efforts tomorrow to make tomorrow an even better show. Why is someone sending a tweet to Talk Radio and including John Gaunt in it? That's strange, isn't it? 0844 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late Night Iain Lee. Unfiltered night talk with the original king of unconventional conversation on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Tris!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Tris.
Evening, how are you?
I'm not brilliant, I'll be honest, Tris.
That's not...
Tough week.
That's not good.
Tough week.
Yeah.
Really, really, properly, has my life come to this kind of week? I mean, it's beyond... I'm on these metazapine tablets, right, that I take because they help me sleep. And they reduce anxiety and they help me sleep. But they make me put on a lot of weight. And I'm seeing the guy in a couple of weeks talk about that. Yesterday, for the first time ever, I took a couple of them in the daytime just to knock me out. That's not healthy, guys. I took a couple in the daytime because I thought, I don't know how I'm going to get through today. Oh, I know how. I'm going to sleep. No, they're not sleeping tablets. So, don't everyone think that's just one of the side effects. If you take them and you are relaxed, they will help you sleep. And they did. And this week, Struth, man, it's real. It's real hard work. It's real hard work. So how am I? I'm a mess, man. I'm an absolute mess. But I'm turning up for work, and sometimes that's all you can do.
Just the great pretender, eh?
Just the great pretender. Exactly. Anyway.
Oh, mate.
What you got for us, man?
That, I feel like a bit of an idiot. I've almost actively avoided Scott Walker my entire life until today.
Go on.
He's brilliant.
Yeah. Tell me how you've got in there.
Well, I listened to two of his albums, Scott 2, Scott 4.
Because it's hit and miss, isn't it?
I only do the even numbers.
He switches between doing maudlin pop ballads and doing cleverly crafted artistic rock.
Yeah, well, he's a bit of a lyricist, isn't he? And he's just gentle, nice music. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. You're
not sold?
No, well, I have stood on stage and introduced Jarvis Cocker onto stage, who was then, while I was still stood there, introduced Scott Walker onto stage to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award. So I have stood literally 2 foot away from the man himself. The voice is amazing. I've not given it enough. I've not given it enough effort, to be honest. I watched a really good documentary about him about a year ago, actually. But I'm not totally convinced.
Okay, I thought it was just sort of croonery, that sort of
loneliness. Well, it's the cloak you wear. That's a good song.
But they were £2 in Oxfam, so I thought, you know what, why not?
The sun ain't gonna shine anymore. And that's the Walker Brothers.
It broke up the drive. You can't, for some reason, Talk Radio's dropped off my DAB today in the car.
Oh. Well, maybe you should take the hint, Tris. Perhaps we don't need you anymore. Yes, we do. We need everybody we can get. For crying out loud, we need everybody. I've just never got round to giving him a proper crack. I like the idea of him a lot, and I probably need to listen a bit more.
I mean, on first listen, it's there's more to him than I thought there was going to be. Yeah. And I had a very pleasurable drive listening to that. Oh, I tell you what, if you're talking about long sort of proggy tunes, Soft Machine, their album Third, double album, it's 4 tracks, a track aside, and they're really good actually. Moon in June on that album, which, I mean, every track's like 22 minutes long, obviously, but you've got some long proggy genius on there, Robert Wyatt and co.
Robert Wyatt, I don't really understand either. He did, was it him that did a really bizarre cover version? Was he the guy in the wheelchair?
Yeah, beardy bloke.
Yeah, he did a really weird cover version of I'm a Believer in the 70s.
Yeah, that's right.
There was actually a really big, it was a really big hit, but it was awful. Was a real stinker.
Yes, it's not up there with his best work, but no, I don't rate it. I don't rate that at all, actually, to be honest. But he's got some real. But he's not an artist you can categorise. Some of his albums are great. Some of his albums are toss.
Yeah.
When he's getting all sort of experimental and electro in the early 70s, really good. And when he's just doing cover versions in the early 80s, it gets all a bit sort of whatever.
They do though, don't they?
They do.
They do though. These people. They do though, don't they?
Who had a good 1980s though?
None of the heritage artists. None of them did. I mean, McCartney had a couple of cheesy ones, but I quite liked them. But for the most part, it was barren. David Bowie was terrible in the 80s. Johnny Cash was terrible in the 80s. Bob Dylan was awful in the 80s. The Beach Boys,
while I have always.
Oh, he was awful always. While I have a soft spot for the Beach Boys' 80s output, I mean, you compare it to the 60s and 70s, it's awful. None of the classic acts had a good 80s. They just didn't do it.
It's peculiar, isn't it? The way everyone just went down that production route, thinking that this must be the way forward. No one had confidence in themselves.
No, exactly. They should have Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young. None of them. You're right. Actually, none of them did. The 80s was a very bleak period for our classic rock and rollers.
Yeah, I always thought Lou Reed had a good 80s, and I sort of revisited that, and no, actually he didn't.
No, he didn't. I don't think Lou Reed had a good career.
Oh, no, I disagree with you there.
Okay.
Oh, you don't like the Velvet Underground, though, do you?
No, I don't. I think they're a terrible band.
Oh, I think they're one of the best.
No, you're wrong. But thanks for calling. You're wrong. 0844 499 1000. Nat's on the line. Evening, Nat.
Evening, Ian.
Hello, Nat. Are you near your telephone?
Yes, I am now. Sorry.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. What have you got for us, Nat?
Right, last night...
Are you on speakerphone?
Yes, hang on, let me get you off.
No. This is unacceptable.
Sorry, is that all right?
Oh, there we go. Now we can hear you. No, it doesn't sound like you're in the bath.
No, I'm not in the bath.
No, I just speakerphone. Come on, guys. If you're going to talk to someone on the telephone, pick up the bloody telephone.
But I was doing things. I had my phone on loudspeaker at the same time.
She was drinking.
She's a busy woman.
Good for her. Well done. What have you got for us?
Right, last night you were talking about severed penises.
Yes, we were. Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Yeah. I was talking to a friend of mine today about you and your show.
Yes.
And we were also talking about Bad Girls as well.
About what?
Bad Girls.
Bad Girls?
Yeah.
The television programme?
Yes.
Yeah.
And because there was a prison guard who had his penis chopped off, wasn't there?
Oh, I don't know. I've never seen Bad Girls.
And it was by the actress who played Shirley in EastEnders.
It was what? Say that again. I can't hear you very well.
It's by the actress who played Shirley in EastEnders.
Oh, okay. I know Shirley. And she cut a guard's penis off, did she?
Yeah, because he was having an affair.
Well, these things happen, I guess, from time to time. Why are you telling me this?
Oh, it's just because I meant to call you up yesterday to sort of say about it, and I forgot. So that's why I'm telling you.
No, I appreciate you telling me. I really do. But Bad Girls was quite trashy, wasn't it?
No, Bad Girls was good.
I've got a friend who was in Bad Girls. A woman called Nicole.
Right.
And she was in it. In fact, she's doing some shows, and I've got to plug them, but I haven't got the details in front of me, so I can't plug them. But I will. But I've never seen it. I've never seen it myself.
No, it was a good series.
I did used to like Footballers' Wives, though.
Oh.
I enjoyed that.
I never watched that, but I did used to watch the one that was on Sky about football. It was awful, but brilliant. What was it called? Dream Team.
Dream Team.
Oh, my goodness, right. There was one that looked a bit like Cundy, right?
Yeah.
And he got out of shape. He was called Fletch.
Yeah.
And for a whole season, the actor that played Fletch was wearing some sort of I think it was just like a pillow under his jumper to show that he was out of shape. It was ridiculous, but brilliant at the same time. Yeah, can't beat a bit of that. No, you can't beat a bit of Dream Team. It was great.
You can't beat a bit of Dream Team. I don't think I remember Dream Team.
Oh, it was great and rubbish.
Well, I'm glad we got that sorted. Thank you, Nat.
That's all right, no problem.
You get back to your drink. Tutty bye. 0844 499 1000.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Yes, Pat.
Hey, Ian and Kath. How you doing?
I am all right. How are you?
Yeah, surviving, thank you.
What you got for us, boss?
Yes, I thought I'd call in with... earlier you mentioned great songs.
Yes.
Well, I have a song here. Do you have... while you're there, do you have YouTube access?
I do, but it depends what the song is.
Well, it has to be heard to be believed, really. It's by a singer by the name of Sydney Devine.
Yeah.
And it's called Nobody's Child.
Well, hang on a sec. That sounds miserable as sin.
Do you know what it is? It's in that vein of those terrible songs like Leader of the Pack and Tell Laura I Love Her, one of them things.
Yes.
But the lyrics are so insane.
It's country, we're in.
That's it, mate. Check this out, mate.
As I was slowly passing an orphan's home one day, I stopped there for a moment just to watch the children play.
Bit weird.
Alone a boy was standing, and when I asked him why, he turned with eyes that could not see, and he began to cry. I'm nobody's child. I'm nobody.
That's all my soul can take of that, Pat. That's outrageous.
Isn't it horrifying?
Sweet Lord, that's awful.
Do you know what? I played that to a friend of mine. Obviously, I come from Scotland. but I've been in England now for 24 years. And I had a dim memory of it from growing up in the 70s.
Yeah.
And hearing it. And I played it to a mate of mine down here, and the both of us nearly had a hemorrhage laughing.
It's that. Now, he sounded Irish, that fella. It sounded like the Irish country.
No, he's from Glasgow.
Is he Scots? Oh, Struth.
I was
Okay.
thinking it sounded like a Glaswegian family party where where your uncles got up to have a sing-song.
That is exactly it. And do you know what? That song would get sung by the increasingly inebriated relatives.
There we go. I can imagine it.
It was, well, I mean, but in country, I love country, but that kind of traditional, it really is the most miserable sound there is, isn't it? They really, do pull at the heartstrings.
Oh, it's desperate, man. I can only think that maybe they didn't have Samaritan's number when they put that on.
You see.
Dreadful. And no disrespect to Samaritans.
No, exactly, but you could be right. Well, thanks, Pat, because we were on a downer as it is, and now we seem to have sunk even lower.
Well, I'll cheer you up.
Go on.
You're a fan of Limmy?
Love Limmy, yes.
Have you ever seen a show on, from BBC Scotland called Still Game?
I've tried Still Game, and I can't get into it.
No.
I can't get it to work for me, no.
Oh, that's a shame.
I have tried it, because I've had so many people recommend it to me, but I just can't get it to... It doesn't work for me, I'm afraid, Pat.
No, not to worry.
Sorry, but thank you for the recommendation, and thank you for that miserable song. Cheers, Pat. Thanks a lot. Nick's on the line. Evening, Nick.
Hello.
Hello, Nick. What you got for us?
I've kind of rang in for some, music geek chat as per normal, really, Ian, to be honest with you. I mean, there's so many, talking points, so we'll go with Scott Walker for a start.
Yes.
Well, we've been focusing on, the crooner years, but I wondered if you'd heard, the kind of the avant-garde stuff.
Well, this is what I was trying to get across to Tris, that he flip-flops between, doing the big kind of cheesy ballads and the avant-garde, really hard work stuff that didn't sell quite as good, but is what, the arty people like him for.
It took me a while to click with the arty stuff, but I think it's, one album in particular is The Drift, which I think is his 2006 one. I would say that is one of the most terrifying albums ever.
Hey, I heard a song the other day. We'll come back to this in a second. A song that has the same effect on me as watching Threads, the movie.
Okay.
It's by a noni who used to be Anthony and the Johnsons.
Yeah.
And it's about... I guess it's about global warming and all the animals dying.
Oh, God.
It's a brilliant pop song. We'll start the top of the hour with it, right? It's a brilliant pop song, but it is haunting. That's the only word. It's haunting. And it's really good. It's quite fast, but honestly, it makes me feel as though the whole world is as bleak and as pointless as when I watch Threads. In a pop song.
Are you sure tonight's the night for that?
Yeah, we're going for it. We're going to play a noni. I mean, it's an amazing. It's such an incredible sound, but you come away and you want to jump off a bridge.
Oh, wow.
I kind of find his or her voice slightly. I don't know.
I like her voice. I wasn't so keen. I think she's has transitioned.
Yeah.
And I think that's the term. I wasn't so keen on Anthony and the Johnsons, but her voice now. I've only heard this song, to be honest. I don't know, but I like her voice on this song. I think it's very powerful, and I think the whole. We'll play it because they play it on Six Music all the time, and it's incredible. But it's an half grim, and it sounds as though that Scott Walker album might be just as grim.
He does a really bizarre, psychotic, Bugs Bunny impression on one of the songs, and some of the percussion on it is the sound of meat being punched.
Oh, that was the documentary I watched. Was about the recording of that album because it is him punching meat.
Spending ages with the trying to make the perfect woodblock noise, and using the spoon. That's amazing.
Yeah,
He's just Hugh. That's really cool. And
it's fascinating to watch. Yes, and they punch meat, don't they?
That's the one.
Yeah, it's brilliant, actually.
I tell you what, you mentioned, just to move away from the slight grimness, even though it is slightly grim, you mentioned Moby Grape earlier on.
Yes.
And I wondered if he was aware of because it's kind of related, the Skip Spence album, or...
No.
He was originally the drummer in Jefferson Airplane.
Right.
And he got replaced by Spencer Dryden, and Skip Spence formed Moby Grape, kind of went a bit weird with, drug psychosis and that kind of stuff.
As the best ones do.
He recorded, this classic outsider album called Ori. Basically, I think he was in the Bellevue Mental Hospital. He rode from there in his pajamas to Nashville, and he, recorded it on, an old 2-track machine, and that has... It's a brilliant album, but it is the American version of the Madcap Laughs. It's kind of it's maybe even more fall apart.
See, you mentioned Syd Barrett there.
I did, yeah.
That's another person I don't really get, and I don't think he's that good. I like See Emily Play and An Old Lane.
Had a strange hobby.
There we go.
Collecting clothes. My favourite clip of the Floyd is the one when they're on that with Dr. Hans Keller. And he's like, it's terribly loud. For me, I can't bear it. It's too loud.
It's a very good clip.
I was brought up with string quartet.
And I like, Baby Lemonade, I think, is a great song, but I just think...
I learned guitar from Syd Barrett because it's so simple, but at the same time, he's really good rhythm. You can kind of hear that Bo Diddley.
He obviously had mental health issues, and then to compound that, he took a shed load of really strong LSD, and he blew his freaking mind. And he was famous. He was a famous recluse. He lived in a sort of normal terraced house in Cambridge. He was like a big rock star, and then he just quit. And Dave Gilmour looked after him and would make sure he got royalties and money and stuff like that. And people would go and knock on his door and make pilgrimages and stuff. And every 3 or 4 years, the Daily Mail go, "We found Syd Barrett." Well, it's not difficult.
Still at his house?
Yeah. But he was obviously damaged goods and would kind of just shuffle around and, was the ultimate acid casualty.
I think there's that famous video where, some guy pretended to be a salesman and he had a camera, in his bag, and it's supposed to be the last. But it's impossible to see. I think that the bidding price for the footage is quite high, but I don't think it's the most thingy conversation. I think it's Syd Barrett now.
That's a bit mean. That's a bit mean. You don't want to go around filming people like that.
He withdrew for a reason, for definite.
But Nick, thank you for that. That's a bit mean. I never really got Syd Barrett. Bruce.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Bruce. How you doing, fella?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
What you got for us, boss?
I just did a little bit in and out tonight because I had dinner late. So, did anyone sort out the Sam Allardyce thing for you?
No one's told me why it's an interesting story and what he's done that's so wrong.
Okay, it wasn't what I was going to call off about, but I'll try and explain it for you quickly. So, really, all it is, he's not done anything wrong yet. It was the kind of act that he could have done something wrong, and he was talking about he knew how to...
Hang on a minute, was this Minority Report? He's got the boot because he could have done something wrong?
He insinuated he had ways of getting around loopholes.
But that even if he had ways of getting around, if they're loopholes, then legally that's not a crime.
Oh, I know. Sorry, not loopholes, but
come on,
rules have been put in place to stop things from happening.
But if there are ways of getting around those walls,
agreed. But he's not in a position the position he's in is to lead the nation's football team. He's paid £3 million a year,
right?
Taking a few $100,000 to do some dodgy stuff.
But it wasn't. I thought the $400,000 was to go and give some talks in Saudi Arabia.
I don't know. I think some of it's lost in translation. It's kind of a thing, but there's a chance it could lead to other stuff. I think that's really the gist of it. It'll be interesting to see what happens next because they reckon there's about 10 other managers.
Well, they've named some of them, and they're people like Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, wasn't he in Frank Zappa and the Mothers?
I believe he was their double bassist.
Yeah, and there's another. But I think they're all kind of the Sport Billy boys were getting excited by a couple of names, but I think they're all quite low-ranking people that have.
Apparently, there's been some super injunctions taken out.
Okay, well,
if they're taking super injunctions out, they've got to have a bit of weight behind them. So I think what we're getting is the surface stuff.
Who's surprised, really, that a sport that is played primarily by millionaire egotists, that there are people taking backhanders and bungs. Is anybody surprised by that? I'd be surprised if they weren't all taking bungs.
Well, that's quite true. Let's lighten the mood a little bit before I try and bring it back down again.
Yes, Bruce.
Songs that kind of make me smile. The Sultans of Ping FC, Where's My Jumper?
We've had that one.
That's while he was having his dinner.
Yeah, how strange.
That's weird.
Isn't that weird that has been suggested by two people on the same show?
Well, because it's a bloody good song, that's why.
Someone texted me that they're playing a gig tonight, I think, or they're on tour at the moment, the Sultans of Ping.
What are we waiting for?
Yeah, I know, guys.
I've never got to see them, but I'd like to. I know they do tours every now and again. What I actually wanted to call about, and
yes,
it seems to be a common theme that I've heard so far, people doing something quite like jolly and then bring the mood down.
Yeah.
I'm getting really depressed as a father, and I wondered how you both were as parents as well, with this disturbing trend at the moment of people or kids videoing each other beating other kids up.
Is that a thing? I don't know. I mean, is that
It's been a thing for a while.
Is it?
I mean, the last few days there's about 2 or 3 videos that I've seen, which have led to arrests, which I suppose is the only good thing. But it's just horrific, just the worst kind of attack, just bullying.
What was this thing the other week? I meant to mention this. 100 kids gathered in a park for a bundle. Did you hear this?
No.
Yeah.
It was in like South London or something.
Yeah.
And it's just like this park in this like normal kind of, street. And then suddenly, like about 7 o'clock one night, 100 kids just piled into this park for this massive bundle. And there were police helicopters. And they're kids doing it.
Didn't that always happen, though?
It was a little bit like that scene in the first Anchorman, or the second one.
Yeah.
without the funny cameos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, but didn't that always happen school on school stuff? It certainly happened in Grange Hill.
Yeah, but what's so stupid, and this is what I don't get, is the fact that they're videoing each other doing this.
Oh, they video everything, though. This is the thing, right, that our generation are going to have to get used to, I think. If it didn't film it, it didn't happen for these kids. They film everything. There is literally nothing that they won't document.
I know, but don't film stuff that's going to incriminate you. It was like the Tottenham riots. And when you saw people videoing each other, like leaving shops with, TVs, my favourite one was a video that circulated of somebody showing off their a big bag, admittedly, of Tesco economy basmati rice.
Yeah, I saw
why would you nick that?
Well, that stuff is delicious.
Rice is good, yeah.
That stuff, rice is nice. That stuff is delicious. Bruce, thank you for that. We've got to end it because we're coming to the top of the hour. We'll play that Anoni song.
I've never heard it, so this is going to have an effect, is it?
It is amazing. I think it's incredible, but it does make me feel like Threads at the end of it. But it's quite an upbeat vibe, but when you listen to it, you go, oh, God, the world sucks, doesn't it? Another hour to go, dear listener. You're more than welcome to contribute. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. 0844 499 1000. We call you back. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio. For those about to talk, we salute you. Talk Radio.
It's coming up to midnight. Do give us a call. 0844 499 1000. You can watch us as well, dear listener, if you go to periscope.tv/Iain Lee, and you can see us waving at you now. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
It's only 4 degrees, it's only 4 degrees. 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 I wanna see this world, I wanna see water. I wanna see the fish go belly up in the sea. And all those lemurs and all those tiny creatures. I wanna see them burn, it's only 4 degrees. I wanna burn them. I wanna burn them. I wanna burn them. I wanna burn the sky. I wanna burn the breeze. I wanna see the animals die in the trees. Let's go, it's only 4 degrees. 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 I wanna burn them. I wanna burn them.
Huh? See what I mean?
Flipping Nora.
It's bleak, isn't it?
She needs a letter right now to her mum.
And that bleak. But isn't it brilliant?
Yeah, it feels like someone's punched me in the stomach a few times.
Exactly. It has the same effects on me that watching the movie Threads does. Just thinking the bleakness of and pointlessness of existence. We're all doomed. Isn't it, though? Isn't it? It's upsetting, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I just want a minute.
We haven't got a minute. That's the point. We haven't got a minute. We need to change things now if we're going to save this world. But we can't save the world. That's the thing.
I'm going to walk home tonight.
That will do it. You get mugged, and that will save the planet. I love that song. I love it. I'm tempted to get the album, but we'll see. Good evening, dear listener. This is Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio. Catherine Boyle is here. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. We call you back. The show's not really working tonight.
I define working because
good.
No, I don't think. No, I think you're being overly critical because I think that some of the conversations we've had have been really interesting. I don't know what you're expecting.
I'm expecting a good show.
We've not had a belly laugh yet.
No, and it's not in any way any of the callers that have called up. Please don't think this is a criticism of you. You've all contributed something to the show. Something positive to the show. I just think if I were listening at home to the bits where I'm talking, I'd probably switch off.
Oh,
I would. I don't think it's very good tonight, and that's fine. That's fine. You can't always get what you want. Page 1 of the Star. Mel B's lesbian romp shock. Now,
shock. Define shock.
I'd be shocked if Mel B hadn't had a lesbian romp this week. She's been having lesbian romps every week since about 1996.
She has been quite vocal about trying girls out, hasn't she?
She's going to wear it out. She's going to wear a groove into her groove. She's always...
She talked about it quite a lot before.
But the thing is, I'm going to read the story. I don't think... The shock is she's not had lesbian sex in this one. Let's read the story. Girl on girl spice. Sorry, I'm married. So another woman fancies her,
and she said, "Sorry, I'm married."
She said, "No, I'm not having that."
Right.
X Factor singer fancies, and fancies is in fancies.
Quotes.
Fancies Mel C. Let's read on. Mel B. Spice Girl Mel B has turned down the advances of a saucy bisexual X Factor singer.
Oh, right, okay.
So, but that doesn't... hang on, Mel B's lesbian romp shock. That's what that says.
Where's the romp in that? Is the shock that she said no?
Sexy Soheila Clifford, fortunate surname, makes it to Simon Cowell's judges' houses this weekend. Admits she finds the former chart topper incredible and stunning.
Of course she does, because they're all finding reason to be in the papers at the moment, because that's the way you stay in the competition.
I'm going to say something controversial.
Go on.
I liked Mel B's solo work. That one where it's all green and she's wearing the basque and she's got a fella on the chain. I liked that song.
Yeah.
I couldn't sing it to you now.
What was it?
I also like... Here's the thing, I'm going to say...
She did Word Up, didn't she?
Word Up. I also liked Mel C's solo work.
I liked some of it.
I interviewed Mel C when she was doing her solo work, and she had a song out. I can't remember what the song was, but it was brilliant, actually. And I said, I think that song you've got out is brilliant. And she went, oh, I didn't think you'd like me. People like you don't like me. And I said, oh, no, I think this is a brilliant song. She came and said hello to me, didn't she, at the Sony's?
Did, very nice.
Came
so
up
did
to me.
Susanna Reid.
Yeah, I was more impressed with... well, I used to be someone. This is the thing, I used to be someone. I could have been... I was a contender. But I must admit, there was a sense of satisfaction when Mel C came up to you and went, all right, Ian, how you doing? I went, yeah, that's right, guys. Who are you working with? Oh, local radio station. But I've won an award.
And who's this? I don't know her.
Don't know her. You weren't there, were you?
I was there.
No, I don't think you were.
Yeah, I was there.
No, you weren't, because I was with Paul Scoins, and he saw it, and you didn't.
Oh, right, okay. I just feel like I saw it, because I heard the story so many
times. Okay, yeah.
I was there for the Susanna Reid moment. I was impressed with that.
Then you were, and you weren't there for anything much after that, because you got pissed.
I didn't think we were going to win, and I didn't think you were going to give me the microphone, and I think that's fairly obvious by the speech I attempted to give.
So Soheila says she was blown away when she discovered that Scary Spice was one of the guest helpers. The former beauty queen gushed.
Oh,
the former beauty queen gushed. Oh, my God. Sorry. Mel B looks incredible. She looks fantastic. Asked if she'd ever had a romance with a girl, single Soheila teased, I have snogged a girl, and I'm not afraid to admit that. It's 2016, and gender shouldn't matter.
Oh, this is made up, this story.
Wait, why? But why is it different for blokes? Because all the blokes go, whoa, yeah, this is beautiful. But imagine, right, if there was a bloke, a perceived straight bloke, a good-looking bloke in X Factor, who went, ever snogged a boy? Oh, get... Oh, no. Why do you say that? Oh, no. Bisexuality is more acceptable in women than it is in men.
Well, certain women.
Certain men. Asked if she'd ever... It's great to fall in love with anybody. But when Scary Spice, who has also had lesbian romances...
That doesn't mean they're going to fancy each other. That doesn't mean anything's going to happen.
Discovered she had a admirer over in Los Angeles. She was quick to let her down gently. Mel, who is wed to Hollywood producer Stephen Belafonte, son of...
Harry Belafonte.
Dale!
Mm-hmm.
Said, those days are gone. I'm married to a fella.
Did she say that?
Yeah.
To a fella?
I like the sausage, not the kebab anymore. I'm a one-sausage woman. No Peter.
Okay.
The singer also thinks that 18-year-old Soheila will clash with the other girls in the show. Mel added, I like a confident person, but I think she is not a girl's girl. That is clear. Well, she's telling us she is a girl's girl.
She'd be your girl.
She's literally a girl's girl. While we're doing the showbiz news, let's continue. Daisy come dancing. Did she? Strictly star Daisy Lowe, daughter of Ben Shepherd from Bush. Gavin Shuker from Bush.
Gavin Rossdale, isn't it?
Gavin Rossdale.
Why Ben Shepherd? Why were you thinking of him?
I don't know. Wants to whisk her hunky dance partner, Aljaz Skorjanek. Oh, man alive. I do hope when we do finally have Brexit that we'll just have British dancers on the show. Off around the country. But their partners need not fear the pair, are eloping. Well, They weren't worried about it. But why have you mentioned eloping? I didn't think they were going to elope, but you've mentioned it now. I think they're going to elope. Also, who elopes? No one elopes anymore. When was the last time anyone actually eloped, apart from in a soap opera?
You can't anymore because of Facebook.
Model Daisy DJs on club nights and thinks it would be great. This story's no good because I can't see her pants. Daisy, who is dating actor Bradley Frankie Wade...
Choose a name.
Said, rather than DJ gigs, I thought, can I drag Al Jazz around and do the waltz?
That's nothing.
I don't watch these programmes because they're pony. Utter pony.
They're two made-up stories there to encourage you to watch a programme you probably...
And I apologise, dear listener, because I fell for it. I got suckered in. 0844 499 1000. Derek, stay there. Come to you after this.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Yes, Derek!
Hello, Iain.
Hello, Derek.
Hello, Iain. Hey, it went all garbled there. I think it was just ads. But anyway, hey, I'm a first-time caller.
Hey, nice one, man. Thanks for... how long have you been listening for?
A month.
A month? And did you... Can I ask, did you find us, like apparently all of the new callers do, by accident?
Kind of. I used to listen to talk radio back in the day, in the early 90s.
Yeah.
There was some boring guy who I think is now on LBC.
Yes.
I used to listen to him. And, yeah, so now I listen to you.
And what do you reckon? Because you know, I haven't done a late night show for about 4 or 5 years, and it's I love late night. I asked for this slot.
I've got a bone to pick with you about that.
Go on.
You keep me up.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, so in that case, we're working. Because, you know, for me, late night is the dream slot, and it's when I'm...
I'd like to be in bed by midnight, but I just quite often can't stop listening until 1 a.m.
Nice one, Derek. Thank you, mate. That's really good to hear.
Well, not for me.
No, I mean, for you, it's a disaster. For you, it's going to end in relationship collapse and losing your job.
Yeah.
But apart from that, we're winning, so that's good. You know, well, I'm glad you found us, mate. What have you got for us tonight?
Not a lot. I don't know. I've been putting off phoning for months, and well, I've just
the joy of this show is, look, you can phone up and say, "I've got nothing to say. I just wanted to phone up."
Oh no,
and
I
say
don't have nothing to say.
Oh,
I know you don't do topics, but if you want a topic, I'll give you a topic.
Yeah, go on. Well, if you got one, let's have it.
All right, okay. Off the top of my head, I recall watching you on, say, was it Bits? You did the video game.
Hey, flipping it! You've got a good memory, not a perfect one. No, it wasn't Bits. Bits was the one with. No, that was the one that I replaced, and that was with Alex.
Yes,
and the other two girls whose names escape me. But we replaced it. We replaced it, and it was Thumb Bandits was the show that me and Alex did.
Oh no, I didn't watch it on Sky. I think it was on Channel 4 back in the day.
Yeah, it was called Thumb Bandits. You prune.
All right.
We replaced Bits, which was a terrible mistake because Bits was brilliant and Thumb Bandits was terrible.
I found her strange attractive. Was that wrong?
To find me attractive?
No, her.
Oh, Alex?
Yeah.
Oh no, Alex was absolutely stunning. She was beautiful.
She was lovely, but she was quite tomboyish.
Yeah, she had. I wouldn't say tomboyish, but then I worked with her, so I knew. No,
I didn't even insult her. But
no. I thought she was very glamorous. She had nice red hair and she had a very sexy American accent. She's a doctor now. She's a doctor.
I'd have gone there. Yeah.
Sorry. Well, with that attitude, she wouldn't have let you anywhere near her. No, I loved Alex, and we kind of like every about 8 months or so, we'll just send each other a little text saying, "Oh, I just heard you on Radio 4," or "Oh, she just will have seen me on TV. We should meet up for lunch," and we never ever do.
Is she still into gaming?
She is into gaming, but she's like all clever now. She's got a doctorate.
She was clever back then.
But she's got like a doctorate in, I think, a PhD in some form of computer thing, and she writes books and presents documentaries about the internet and how it has impacts on society and all these kinds of things.
I did not know that.
No, she's. This will sound patronising, but I don't mean it to. She wouldn't take it. I'm very proud of her because I always knew she was better than presenting that rubbish show that we presented, and I'm glad that she's.
I thought that was a great show. I loved it. Well, I mean, I obviously remember 11 o'clock show and whatnot, but no, I loved that show.
Well, yeah, it was fun. We filmed that in Glasgow, you know.
Really?
Yeah, we filmed Thumb Bandits in Glasgow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I used to get flown up there back in the day when there was money floating about.
You got flown to Glasgow?
Flown to Glasgow, would stay up there for
Like
2
catapult.
nights and come straight back down. It's beautiful. I paid a fortune for that as well, that show, actually, now I think on it.
Well, there you go.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that, Derek. There are bits of it up on YouTube if you want to relive those days. It's not something I'm particularly keen to remember, but...
it's just more that I've got a geeky knowledge of gaming.
What are you playing anything at the moment?
You know, weirdly, I've actually kind of gone off gaming. I still play a bit of PS4 and whatnot, but no, the heyday of the Dreamcast, the PlayStation and whatnot.
Dreamcast is what it was all about. That was the best machine there's ever been.
Were you talking about that weird game? I don't want to get the name wrong, but I think it was called Seaman.
Seaman, it was Seaman, it was brilliant. It was a brilliant game where it was a fish, and you had to grow this fish. It had a human face, and it was voiced by Leonard Nimoy.
That's right. Yeah.
And it would live when you turn the console off. So it would so if you had to feed it and stimulate it, and you had a microphone, and you could talk to it. And it could could learn instructions, and if you didn't turn it on for like a week, you'd turn it on and it'd be dead.
Oh.
And this is like a
Tamagotchi, but on a console.
On a console, yeah. It was brilliant. I mean, it was way ahead of its time. It was absolutely brilliant, Seaman. Yeah.
Way ahead of its time. I find if I leave my Seaman lying for a week, it dies.
Thank you very much indeed, Derek. And on that bombshell, we say thank you, sir. I'm glad you found us, and good night. It was a revolutionary game. You know, it was a little bit dull, as these revolutionary games often are. But you had to go and talk to it, and you had this microphone, and I can't remember what else you did with it, really. Andrew, good evening, Andrew.
Hello. Heart to heart.
Sorry?
Heart to heart.
What about it?
I'm doing a no lemons.
Are you referring to? You're answering questions from old shows?
Yes.
Okay, you're right. Yes, it was. I'm with you on this one. Yes, it was Heart to Heart.
Yes, and the question was?
What show was Freeway in?
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed. You see, I remembered that one because I remembered that no one phoned in and got it right.
Yeah, I'll catch up on the podcast. See, I'm a week behind, so...
Okay, what was point number 2 you wanted to remind us of?
What point? There was only one point.
Oh, was there only one point?
It was a good point. It was a good point, well made.
It was Moida. Okay. Has there ever been, and I know, I'm going to sound like an old misogynist, but I don't care.
Go on.
Has there ever been a sexier woman than, was it Stephanie Powers?
Yeah.
From Heart to Heart? She was so glamorous. I mean, just proper sexy.
What about Charlie's Angels?
No. Stephanie Powers, she had it going on. Stephanie Powers, she's got it going on. I liked her because she was a rich...
Yeah, no, he was rich, wasn't he?
She was sexy, sassy, silk sheets... and other things beginning with S.
Oh, for God's sake.
Sorry?
Please, nice.
What?
What about, what's his name? Sapphire Still. What's her name?
Joanna Lumley.
Yeah.
Never really did it for me. In the new Avengers, maybe, but no, she was no Mrs. Hart.
Okay.
You can name more women from the olden days, but they won't beat Stephanie Powers.
All right, fair enough.
I don't want to fall out with you over it, but
no, you're not falling out. No, okay, that's okay.
I am adamant that she is the sexiest woman that's ever strode this planet.
All right, hang on.
Yes.
Let me wade in here.
Got an idea.
Let me wade in here.
Okay.
Diana Rigg in the Avengers.
No.
All right.
Oh no! I tell you who. Julie Newmar.
I was going to go there next.
Julie Newmar as the Catwoman, and there were about 4 different Catwomen.
Eartha
Kitt.
No.
There was.
I found her a bit creepy.
Yeah, there was Joan Collins Catwoman, or she was a villain in Batman, but there was another woman who played Catwoman whose name escapes me. It's quite an unusual name.
No, not Julie Newmar. No.
Oh, who was the other woman that played Catwoman in the Batman TV series? Maybe she played her in the film. Can't remember. Anyway, but Julie Newmar for me as Catwoman. So Julie Newmar and Stephanie Powers.
Okay, sorry. Fair enough.
Keep building that time machine, boys.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. There was another woman who played Catwoman. Let me go to Twitter because someone will have told me on there. Why do people want me to do a show about the McCanns? It would be really great to hear a radio show about the continual money being spent in appeals from the McCanns.
Who's saying that?
Someone called Restrepo.
Ah.
People are, well, okay, yeah, it would, but ain't going to be on this show. Why do you think? Let's just see this tweet thing. I don't know what that is about. Why have you brought that up tonight? Why is that a thing? It is, why would they think that I would be the show to do that? I think I don't think there are conspiracy theories, quite mean conspiracy theories, that the McCanns are behind the disappearance and the death of Madeleine McCann. I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. So if you're looking at me to approach it from that angle, I'm not going to. And I think that all talk of that online is quite mean-spirited and quite unpleasant. And until we get firm evidence to the contrary, it's not. I'm kind of thinking that they had nothing to do with the disappearance of their daughter. I know, call me old-fashioned, call me controversial, but that's sort of where my head is at, really. And I think all this stuff, say, well, they must have murdered her.
Why?
They drugged her, and they drugged the kids so that they would sleep at night. And all I think it's mean and horrible and unpleasant.
Is it because people want there to be an end to it? They want there to be an explanation? Because I've got a really nasty feeling there won't be.
Yeah, or I've got a feeling this Ben Needham thing's going to come to nothing this time around as well. And I think we all got a little bit excited by the front pages. And it's the Daily Mirror. The Daily Mirror did it last time as well. The Daily Mirror have kind of led the story this time. Is it on the front page today? No. Daily Mirror led the Ben Needham story this time, and they led it last time about 3 years ago. So it was obviously their story that they like to claim some kind of ownership over. But I got a feeling we all got to suck it in again this time.
Those poor families, though.
Well, I know, exactly. So, sorry, guys, I ain't going down the Maddie conspiracy route because I don't buys it. I don't buys it at all. 0844 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Yes, Ed, I want some chocolate. He's typed on my screen, want some chocolate. Yes, I do. A bit of a stomachache. I'm not really, I don't know what's going on. Tom is on the line. Good evening, Tom.
What kind of cake? Hello, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Oh, you're coming out with all of the greatest hits.
Yeah, very long time, 8 years now.
8
I want to talk to myself in the future.
Okay, go on then.
I stopped listening on Thursday.
Yeah.
This coming Friday, I'm flying to Auckland.
Oh, yeah?
And I plan to listen to all of the shows as I'm flying on the iPod and the download, with the full show download.
Okay.
So I was going to say hi to myself and say, stop drinking the red wine on the plane, and hope you're having a good flight. I think by the time I listen to this, I should have landed in Singapore. So just saying hi to myself.
What are you going to Auckland for?
For work.
Okay. Very cagey. Are you a hitman?
I am not a hitman.
Okay.
I'm going to work for 4 weeks in Auckland.
Been very cagey.
4 weeks of spying.
Auckland.
4 weeks of spying.
Oh, the woman speaks.
The woman speaks. Yeah.
The woman speaks.
Only when I'm interested, and you've piqued my interest.
Are you in show business, Thomas?
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh,
do you know?
Are you a hobbit?
No.
You're performing in the theatre.
I am working in the theatre.
Yeah. I can tell because you've got a very theatrical ring.
Yeah. I am working in the Civic Theatre in Auckland.
Oh!
I have no idea what that is, but it sounds good.
That's good. The Civic Theatres, what's that hold, about 1,200?
2,500 seats.
Wowzers! But you're not acting, are you?
I am not.
You're not. Okay.
Are you a musician?
Do you want to know, or
No.
are you guessing more?
Well, if we guess correctly, you have to tell us.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
I am.
Puppetry of the penis.
No, because they're Aussies.
Correct.
They're Aussies, the puppetry of the penis.
Well, you'd call it like member marionettes, then, wouldn't you?
Well.
Get around the trademark.
So you're a musician?
No.
You're a director?
No.
Dancer.
No.
Well, you're not an actor?
No, I'm not.
Stripper.
The last chance.
Okay, hang on.
Backstage.
Oh, backstage doesn't count. You're wardrobe. We're wardrobe.
No, I'm a stage manager.
Oh! Hang on a minute.
Don't they have their own there?
Yeah, why are they flying a stage manager out to Auckland?
Well, yeah, I know, but I get paid loads of money, so it's fine.
I'm not. I mean, listen, I'm not for 1 second knocking you for getting what is potentially the dream gig.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'd do it for tuppence as well, for the chance to go out there and do it. But what is it a show? Is it the whole show that's going out there then?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, rehearsing in London this week, actually.
What is it? Go on, what show is it?
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Is it really?
The big gay musical, yeah.
Is it really? Is that any good? Because I've seen the film. I remember seeing the film when it came out.
Yeah.
When was the film? About 95? Something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, maybe. I've never actually seen the film. Worked on the show as the musical for a couple of years. Never seen the film.
I bet that's a laugh, isn't it?
It's all right.
Did you work
Not
with...
too
Did Jason Donovan do it?
Yes, I worked with Jason Donovan
I
for the last year.
love Jason Donovan, and I've had the
Me
privilege
too.
of interviewing
He's good
him.
fun.
He is good fun. I've interviewed him. His book, his autobiography, is a cracking read. 'Cause he talks about when he was... Johnny Depp saved his life when he did a massive load of cocaine and booze at this nightclub.
Yeah, that's right. It's got a very good name. Between the Lines.
Between the Lines, you see.
Jason.
I mean, you couldn't get any more obvious than that.
And I interviewed him when he was bang on it, and he was in a terrible state. And then I interviewed him a few years later when he was clean and sober. And he's just such a nice man.
But he's also a brilliant performer, because I saw him in the Rocky Horror Show. Oh my God, he was awesome.
Well,
it was brilliant.
I remember arguing in the sixth form common room with a friend because I was really into Jason. I liked Jason Donovan as a pop star. I went and saw him at the Hammersmith Odeon when he was like in his real teen pop phase. And I remember arguing with a friend saying that he would outlive Kylie Minogue in terms of pop career, because he was like proper artist waiting to be discovered, and I backed the wrong horse there.
Yeah, but he's still going strong.
He's good. No, I love Jason.
He's still there, Jason. He's doing well.
Who's in this one? Anyone famous?
Anyone famous? The only name we have in Priscilla is a guy from Ralph Stewart from Home and Away.
I think you mean Alf. I think you mean Alf.
Stewart.
Yes.
The woman will know.
Yeah, you do mean Alf Stewart. You mean old Id, because Id looks a lot like young Alf Stewart.
You flaming galah.
You flaming Yahoo.
Yahoo, fine, all of that, yeah.
Etc.
Oh, well, Tom, hang on a second.
I'll be in Auckland on Friday.
Hang on a second. We need to speak to future Tom as well.
Yeah, we do.
What do you want to say to him?
Future Tom.
Yeah.
No, you don't. No, you can't answer. This isn't you. We're not talking to you. You're present Tom.
Future Tom's 3 sheets of the breeze on red wine by now. Future Tom, make sure you eat, drink some water, because I know the old Tom told you not to drink the red wine, but when do you ever listen to yourself?
Tom, get pissed. Tom, get more. Tom, stop. Tom, I want you to pause this podcast now. Not now, but when I tell you to. And I want you to press the button and demand another bottle of red wine. So pause it now. Well done. You've started the podcast again. And you've got that bottle. In one. Yes!
Can I talk to future Tom?
Yes.
Why on earth did you listen to Iain? You got thrown off the flight, you got restrained by the crew and carried out on a stretcher.
Still, you got cavity searched.
Terrible. Yeah. If I'm right, I should listen to this flight. This podcast when I'm on a second flight about halfway to New Zealand after Singapore.
Yeah.
Tom, have a wicked time, mate. Thank you for phoning up and sharing that with us.
I will, thank you.
Enjoy yourself. Take care.
I'll call you back when I'm over there.
Yeah, please do, man, and go and say hello to my sister.
Who wants free tickets, by the way?
You could tell he worked in the theatre. He had a very theatrical ring about him, didn't he? Good for him. Well done, man. Isn't it? And we've had this, and I've had it in separate occasions. Isn't it nice when you get paid quite well to go and do your job in another country?
Yeah.
There's something really grown up about it.
I hoped on that occasion that someone would ask my mum about me,
Oh.
so she could say, "Oh, she's gone over
Yeah.
to."
I remember the first time I went to film something in America. Flipping heck.
You made it.
We did, and it was. I remember thinking, this is it. You know, I'm staying in a decent hotel. I know the first time we went, we stayed in rubbish hotels, but the second time, but you just remember, I'm in America. First thing I filmed was a documentary about video games, and I had to film a thing with me driving an open top, a convertible sports car, and doing the piece to camera, and I couldn't do it.
Was it about Outrun?
It was but it was an automatic, and I couldn't get to grips with doing a left-hand automatic, so I kept jabbing the brakes, and couldn't do it. And then they wouldn't let me drive the car after that.
Oh.
They said it was an insurance thing. I didn't believe them at all. 0844 499 1000. Jerry, stay there. Come to you after this.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Okay, we've got Tom back. Tom.
Hello.
Now
Hello.
listen. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening. So when are you in Auckland? When is this show happening in Auckland?
The show is happening in Auckland. Oh, shit, I should know. Sorry.
Doesn't matter.
In a week's time.
Right. Can I ask you a question?
You can.
Can you get me 2 tickets?
Of course.
Can you?
Yeah, definitely.
Can my sister come?
Yeah, definitely.
Would that be all right? Now, if it's not all right, she just sent me a tweet because she lives in Auckland, and she just said, "Oh, can this guy get me free tickets?" If it's not all right, say. But if you could get a couple of tickets, I would love you forever.
I can definitely get more than a couple of tickets. Most of the cast are coming from London, and none of us have got family or friends in Auckland, so we'll all get free tickets.
Tom, would you mind if I took your phone number down and gave you a cheeky little call tomorrow, and we swapped emails and stuff?
Absolutely fine. You can have all the tickets you want, sir.
Can we? Because Ed wants tickets now as well.
That honestly, it's fine by me. I can get plenty.
Tom, I'll give you a call tomorrow and we'll swap emails and stuff. You're very kind.
Sounds like a deal.
Thank you, mate. Bye-bye. There we go, you see. Sorted. Sorted to the Kiwi over there and sorted to the plastic Kiwi that is my sister. Can you jot down his number, please, Ed, and I'll give him a call tomorrow and we'll sort that out, you see. Why can't we get any tickets for things in London?
Is anyone working on anything in London?
Give us a call and we want free tickets.
Preferably on a weekend.
Jerry!
A bit rough today.
What's going on, ma'am?
Got some women who are better than Stephanie Powers.
Someone better than Stephanie Powers? What the hell are you talking about? Your Parkinson's is affecting you more than normal.
Heather Locklear.
Too trashy, mate. She's too trashy. Stephanie Powers in Heart to Heart was pure class. And she was Moira.
Together they were
Max, I take care of them. It ain't easy.
Fine, well, that's great, Jerry. If we're out in a bar in Hollywood and Heather Locklear and Stephanie Powers, both from the 80s, walk in and they start chatting to us, well, then there's no fighting. That's sorted straight away. So that works really well.
You can push me out, though. Push me out. Give me a push.
Yeah, okay, we got the push thing. Well done. That'll work perfectly. You go off with Heather, I go off with Stephanie. We meet back at the hotel first thing in the morning. We compare notes. We high five.
It's going to bonfire night. It's a good time for disabled people.
Why is bonfire night a good time for disabled people?
Because I sit outside light shops and people think we're a guy and took money off us.
Oh, you see, the thing is, no one does penny for the guy anymore. No one even knows what penny for the guy is.
It's about 50p now.
Well, but people don't do it. When was the last time you saw a guy?
I did it last year.
Really?
Yeah, I do it every year.
Well, and what, do you shove newspaper down your tops and stuff?
Down my pants.
Oh, for crying out loud, Joe.
Page 3.
What the hell is wrong with you this evening?
Trouble when the print comes off.
Oh, for goodness sakes, Jerry, you really are. What is naughty? Naughty, Jerry.
Shall we do it?
Should we do what?
Go outside the blade shop or somewhere. Go outside the shop and do pay for the guy.
I tell you what, Jerry, you do it. You let us know how you get on, and you let us know how many times you get beaten up.
Okay. Well, so you can do with me. Have a romp.
For goodness. Right, good night, Jerry.
Bye.
Flipping it.
What's been in Jerry's tea tonight?
I've got no idea. Nigel.
Hello.
Hello, Nigel.
How are you?
I'm all right. What you got for us, boss?
I'd just like to see your thoughts, really. It was the memorial service for Terry Wogan the other day in London.
Yes.
And Tony Blackburn didn't get invited.
Yeah, I saw Tony's tweet. I think that's outrageous.
It's obviously worked with him, and he was with the BBC for a long time.
Yeah.
But he didn't get invited. So I'm just thinking what your thoughts were.
Well, as I said, I think it's outrageous.
So it was pretty bad. But I mean, hopefully, Tony's doing okay on another station at the moment, and he'll kind of come back, because at the end of the day, he should have never really got kicked off the beeb.
No, because he didn't do anything wrong. Tony Blackburn's crime was remembering things differently to how the somebody else remembered things. And Tony, I know Tony Blackburn. I've worked with him. I've been out on social occasions with him, and he is the nicest, most decent, most honest chap that you could ever meet. And it was a criminal what the BBC did to him.
Yeah, I know. It's just that's the beeb at the moment.
Well,
can I ask you a question?
You can do, Nigel. Yes.
What's the play-out system that you use?
Hey! Here we go. Now we've got some hardcore. I knew it, Nigel. We've got some hardcore radio geekery. Ed, come on the microphone, because the play-out system, I haven't got a Scooby. What is the play-out system,
The
Ed?
play-out system we use is called Myriad.
Oh, it's a Myriad system.
Yep.
Now, how does that rate, Nigel?
It's a very good system.
Is it? We've got phone box, and which is what we use to take the phone calls. But I like classic phone box from about 3 years ago. These new updates I find quite glitchy and quite buggy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that system.
Oh, okay. Well,
you out-geeked him.
I've out-geeked Nigel. Why are you so interested in the technical aspects of radio? Why does that...
I'm in radio myself.
Oh, yeah? What do you do?
I present a couple of shows, one on an internet station and one on a community station at the moment.
What play-out system do you use?
I use Netcast.
And how's that? How are you finding that?
It's really good system. It was really good. It just kind of never lets me down.
And what kind of show do you present? Is it music? Is it chat?
I do. Well, it's music stations. I present a couple of shows because I'm trying to be versatile. I do a sports show on a Saturday morning.
Oh, yeah.
And then I do a show on two stations. Oh, one's a community station, one's a internet station, and the show's called Access All Areas.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all celebrity interviews and celebrity news.
Do you get to interview the celebrities, or you getting clips off of various sources?
No, I get to interview them.
Hey, nice one.
I did an interview with Lamar the other week.
Hang on a minute, he's getting better guests than we get. How is this possible? Who else you interviewed, Nigel?
Jake Quiggerdon.
I don't know who that is.
He was on the X Factor.
Okay.
And then he went on I Was Celebrity.
Okay.
Last year.
No, I don't know those people. I don't know these. Yeah.
And then I've just done an interview tonight on the show with an artist from Kingston in Jamaica.
Hey, flipping heck, really? That's good, isn't it? Is it Beanie Man?
No, it's not.
It's not Beanie
Man. It's called Gianna.
Okay.
She's a very good singer.
And I'm getting from this phone call that you thoroughly enjoy it.
Oh yeah, I love
All
it.
right, here we go. Your top three radio presenters of all time.
Top three, got to be Chris Evans.
Right.
Got to be Noel Edmonds when he was at the Beeb doing the show. Yeah, Dingley Dell and all that. Love it.
Yeah, Dingley Dell. I do remember Dingley Dell, actually. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, go on. And who's number one?
Then, Kenny Everett, the God.
Yeah. He was I never used to listen to Kenny Everett when he was on, but I've heard bits. He was very clever at doing, because now we've all got computers and stuff, and we can go home and edit and multi-track and stuff.
Imagine the fun he would have had with this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But he did it all in his cowshed with reel to reel. He'd go in there and record stuff and splice it all together and do all of that.
Yeah, brilliant radio. Absolutely. When radio presenters were allowed to kind of do their thing.
And radio presenters were allowed to take drugs while they were still on air.
Well, he wasn't. He got into trouble for it, didn't he?
Yeah, he got into a lot of trouble for it.
He got sacked quite a lot.
He got sacked all the time. Yeah, I know that feeling. Oh, nice one, Nigel. Thank you for that, mate.
Good talking to you.
You too, mate. Cheers, thank you. Mate, because we're talking about DJs, I was going on, mate.
I read Cleo Rockus's memoirs about her and Kenny. It was
yeah.
really lovely.
Yeah.
We should get her on. All right.
0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. Last, the dying moments of a dying show. And again, it's not a criticism of the callers. It just felt like I've not quite captured the vibe this evening.
3 free tickets, though.
Yeah, I got some free tickets for a show we're never going to see. But Ed and my sister are going to be all right. Family members are going to be all right. That'll be good. Well, that's nice. Well, I shall call Tom tomorrow, and I'll withhold my number, of course. I'm not going to. You can't give. Someone was giving a talk at this radio thing last week that I bailed out of in the end because I didn't feel very well. Ed, do you want to grab that call? And they were saying how important it is to phone listeners up after the show and talk to them. I think, why would you do that? Why? And we create a community, and I email some people and
we see them at events. We
have events, but I don't want to phone them up after the show.
That's a bit much.
That's a bit. I don't know what the benefit of that would be.
Is that people who only get 3 callers a show?
Well, I don't know, but then also, we occasionally find that some callers then develop a sense of entitlement, and that they are as important as yourself and myself or Ed, and they're not. They're not. And some people get angry that they don't get called back immediately, or they may not get called back at all, and they flounce off. And I think that by calling people up after the show, you're in danger of creating that sense of entitlement. Robert!
Good morning.
Well, no, it's still good evening. We've not had a sleep yet. We don't say good morning until we've had a sleep.
Oh, sorry.
Never mind.
Sorry. How are you and the good lady? Are you okay?
How are... She's the woman. She's not. She's certainly no lady. She's the woman. How are you, woman?
Starving.
Yeah.
Oh, starving. Oh.
How are you, Robert?
I'm grand. I'm really, really looking forward to talking to you.
Well, we're doing it now, so don't look forward anymore.
Crack on, Robert. Crack on.
We're doing it.
Here we go.
This is it.
Right.
This is it.
I'm just going to. Just to ask you, if you were a disco DJ, how would you introduce a song that you really loved? Would you give it a bit of oomph, or would you give it a... I don't know.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are you masturbating?
I've got my earphones in with my headpiece.
Yeah, but what head?
Oh, like it.
Why do you want to know? I've never done DJing.
Oh, yeah, you have to have a shot.
Well, how are you a DJ?
I used to be.
Go on then. How would you introduce a song?
Well, I would say something like, well, here's one from 1999. It's called Oasis, Wonderwall.
Right, stop you there.
Right.
It's not called Oasis Wonderwall. And I think you've got the year wrong as well, haven't you?
Oh, definitely.
Well, you got the year wrong, and you said it's called Oasis Wonderwall.
Right.
And also, if you're
playing that for?
If you're playing Wonderwall, if you're playing Oasis Wonderwall at a disco, that's going to be a pretty grim disco.
That was a bad example. Really bad.
All right.
You want to play Baccarat? Yes, sir. I can boogie. That's going to get everyone on the floor.
Let's go for it.
Go on, do
So
that.
I want to see you all on the dance floor tonight, and I can, yes, sir, I can dance. Have you got a boogie?
You've got the title. Completely wrong. Do you know? Have you heard music? Have you ever heard music before?
Oh, every day of my life.
Right, because it doesn't sound like you know it. All right, I'll do it. Right, this is how you do it, right?
Go.
I'll do it. This is... You ready? You've got to... Just listen, okay? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's start moving now. It's Baccarat, and yes, sir, I can boogie.
Oh, no. That was...
I would do it over this
And
part.
you've got the music?
I would do it over this.
You even get music?
They're unusual-looking women, aren't they? Baccarat.
They're from Mallorca.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Straight from Mallorca, from the beaches of Mallorca to the back streets of Blackpool, I give you the two fine women known as Baccarat with Yes Sir, I Can Boogie.
Yes.
It's time for the erection section. Pull your partner close and grind away to Baccarat. And yes, sir, I can boogie.
Hey, mister, can you dance? Yes, sir, I can boogie.
Mister, your eyes are full of...
Right, so you've heard professionals doing it, Robert. Now it's your turn. Are you
Let's have a
ready?
little try.
Here we go.
Right, what's the song?
Baccarat, yes, sir, I can boogie.
Right. So, get your back in motion. Here we go. It's Bacca. Raka. It's Boogie Town.
Baccarat.
But what's the song called?
It's called Yes Sir, I Can Boo.
Yes, sir, I can boo.
This is a tune, though, fair play.
Let's have it. Let's end the show with this.
Mister, your eyes are full of hesitation. She makes me wonder if you know what you're looking for. Baby, I wanna keep my reputation. I'm a sensation. You try me once, you beg for more. Very much like talking. No, neither walking. You wanna know if I can dance? Yes, sir. Already told you in the first verse and in the chorus, but I will give you one more chance.
Radio.
We've got entertainment and we're not afraid to use it. Talk Radio.